Good morning. It's 5 o'clock, and I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. We're climbing up from near freezing temps this morning. We'll head to near 60 later today. We'll have some sunshine, too. Not nearly as cold tonight. The Trump administration has now agreed to expand the use of body cameras to limit immigration enforcement in sensitive locations like schools and hospitals, and also requiring ICE agents who are not undercover to identify themselves. Yet Democrats say that's not enough. They will still not fund the Department of Homeland Security.
The partial government shutdown could soon force some small airports to close because of staffing shortages. More TSA officers being forced to work without pay are now calling out sick, including more than 30% in New Orleans, Atlanta, Houston, and New York. Some airports have been forced to close security checkpoints.
ABC's Lionel Moise there. The parents of a young girl are speaking out about her teacher who's accused of showing her nude photos of himself on his cell phone. Now, the parents tell Channel 4 they don't buy Matthew Vetter's story that this was an accident.
The original photo that was the posing of him nude, he swiped over and showed her that and said the word oops, but then went, instead of closing his phone
and
then
his phone down, looked for a reaction,
scrolled through a gallery of more photos of himself. So, to me, she's a victim, and it's 100% predatory.
Vetter was removed from his position as a science teacher during an investigation into this incident. Clarksville Montgomery County Schools have placed him on an alternative work site off school property. Market Numbers brought to you by Beacon Capital Management, online at beaconcm.com.
Stocks held steady despite another day of climbing oil prices. The Dow added 46 points. The Nasdaq gained 105. The S&P grew 16. The price for a barrel of benchmark U.S. crude settled at $95, with Brent crude closing over $102 a barrel. Investors are watching the overall health of the economy. Delta Airlines offered an encouraging signal after raising its revenue forecast for the first 3 months of the year. That looks to be enough to offset higher prices for jet fuel. Flyers are seeking to lock in airfares to beat rising oil prices. Uber closed 4% higher after announcing an expansion of its partnership with chipmaker NVIDIA. They plan to launch a fleet of autonomous vehicles. Bank of America has tentatively settled a lawsuit claiming it ignored suspicious financial transactions involving Jeffrey Epstein while he was sexually abusing hundreds of girls and women. Terms were not disclosed. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
And stock futures this morning all pointing up with the Dow futures plus 233. We're expecting the Federal Reserve to have an interest rate decision today. Near zero chance that they'll change interest rates at this point. That's the latest news. Your traffic is next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News. I'm seeing a pretty sizable delay on 65 heading north up to the White House area this morning. Not sure what's happening in that area. 24 looks okay this morning. 40 checks out just fine. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I don't really understand that story, Joan, that you did with the teacher and
is that right?
and
You
the
don't
phone.
understand? Yeah.
Can you, by the way, welcome in, Nashville's Morning News. Hello. So I want to make sure I got this right. The teacher has his phone and he is, flipping through photos and he's showing his student the photos on his phone?
Yeah, so he said something about this is a science class, that he had a photo of a similar project that, that he had done somewhere else, and he was going to show this girl that photo that he had of a similar project.
Right.
So he calls her up to his desk, and they start going through the photos, and he landed on a nude photo of himself. It was a mistake.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah. So then he kept swiping through nude photos of himself
Oh, my goodness.
until, he got to the picture that he was
So he didn't.
referencing.
That was definitely not the slideshow that should have been shown in class.
No, so he didn't. You would think if he hit on the first nude photo, he'd be like, "Oh, hold on, let me just go ahead and find the photo I'm looking for." But he kept swiping through the nude photos.
Yeah.
I'll take it a step further. How do you not know that those are where they are?
See, that's where I was going to go with this.
Yeah.
If you have nude photos on your phone, and just to make it clear, I don't. But if I did. Is the
I don't know
fact
if the
that
clarification was any
I know,
help
right?
to you.
I was gonna say, is the clarification? Does it make me look guilty? Whatever. Anyway, I don't have those on my phone, but you know that they're on your phone, and so if you are swiping through a bunch of pictures showing a student, the photos are there, so you're not going to show the girl the photos on your phone. You're just gonna keep swiping until you find it, then show her the photo of the science project.
So you want to hear what the parents had to say again? I played this in the news, but it's pretty interesting. So listen to
The
this.
original photo that was the posing of him nude, he swiped over and showed her that and said the word oops, but then went, instead of closing his phone or
and
laying his
then
phone down,
looked for a reaction.
scrolled through a gallery of more photos of himself. So to me, she's a victim, and it's 100% predatory.
Man.
And they say there were other students who sort of had run-ins with this teacher.
This cannot continue. He's already had multiple complaints on him from the school before. Children have been removed from his class into another class previously that we were unknown about.
To avoid confrontation with him.
Now, this teacher, his name is Matthew Vetter. His wife is the because she is the teacher. So the
Like
district,
district
the district director of schools is his wife. So my question was, they moved him from the school to an alternative work location off campus.
Wait a minute. If
But
he's a
wouldn't-
teacher, then what is he going to get, like a free paycheck for not doing any work? Because if he's not allowed in front of kids, and certainly he should not be allowed in front of kids, then what is he doing at this alternative location?
Well, his wife is the district director of schools. So is he getting special treatment because of his wife?
Honestly, Joan,
any other parent, any other teacher would be kicked out while the investigation is happening.
It sounds like he's already been getting special treatment. If they've been moving students out of his
Yes.
classroom because of these confrontations.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's what did he say for himself? Did he have any defense for
Well, I don't
showing
have any.
these?
I don't have any audio of it, but his defense, according to the press, is that it was a mistake that he landed on that picture.
Oh, it was a mistake, all right.
It sure was.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you how this would shake out if he's charged criminally and this were to be taken to trial. Is they're just going to go, it's 2026, and you're going to tell me your device does not have locked folders on it that which you could store. You have the right to those photos. You have the right to create and curate them. But you're going to tell me you don't have a locked folder on your phone or know how to get one to keep those separate from what you would display at work.
All right, so I'm going to be honest. I had no idea that you could lock folders on your phone.
Neither did I. That's interesting. Sam.
Interesting that you know that, Sam.
Yes, Sam.
I'm part of the generation.
Sam, I don't want to see your phone. I don't want to see the photos on your phone. It's okay. I don't need to see a science project or anything else.
Can I see them?
There was some experimenting. Let's just put it that way. But
Oh my gosh. What?
Do you think I'm going to keep publicly accessible photos of me doing nefarious things? No. No one needs to see how many beers I can drink in one night, okay? That's the kind of stuff I keep
guess
under
I
lock and
appreciate
key.
the clarification. I
Yeah,
wasn't quite
me
sure,
too.
Joan, where that was going.
There's a lot of dead air going on there.
It's not often that Joan and I can be sitting in stunned silence, not sure what to say, but leave it to Sam.
Thank you, Sam. Whew.
I will just, it's just personal advice that photos like that in general are dumb to keep on your phone because people can hack it even if it's locked.
Well, I mean, yeah, absolutely. But clearly this guy, it's like the guy that was, remember a while back we were talking about the guy who would walk out of the bathroom in a fast food restaurant, zipping himself up.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Remember that whole thing?
Yeah.
And then
Wait for
there was
someone
the
to
guy.
say XYZ.
Yeah, and then the guy going through the drive-through, and he
That was the same guy.
The same guy. Okay, same guy. Just very bizarre.
Yeah.
Very, very bizarre.
And Joan had a story.
Right,
last-
about the guy driving, right?
and
Yeah. He was,
let's just say his crankshaft wasn't the only thing moving in that car.
and he was making sure the people around him who drove by could see it.
Yeah.
So he was charged too. So there's this weird sexual thing.
He was driving?
He was driving.
I told you to listen to this story when so Joan totally spoiled it for me off air. It was like, oh my gosh, that you'll never, the guy was doing this driving. And I'm like, Dan, you got to listen. And of course, Dan totally zones out. Doesn't hear the story.
I know that you use when I do the news to sometimes get audio or to search things. So sometimes you don't hear. I get it.
What did they charge? So the guy was, doing that as he's driving along
Yeah.
at 65, 75 miles an hour.
Well,
Yeah.
it was through Greenbrier, right? So that's probably more like 45, 50. They don't. It's just it's a state highway area. So he was in cruise control territory for sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The wheel was not the only thing being jerked around. Apparently.
Anyway, so what a bizarre, it's very, men are weird. Joan, this is a guy thing, clearly. This is a guy
yeah.
thing. Men
We
are
are
very
pigs.
strange.
Well, for the ladies, it's just, you be a teacher and you're a predator with your students.
And there's
Yeah.
a trend of that
There's a
happening
trend.
with female teachers and male students, like completely unprecedented in like the last 5 years. It's really weird.
Well, it's not the last 5 years. That's been going on
Well,
forever.
but
Right?
the-
And they're always, and here's the deal. Joan, back me up on this. It's always a hot teacher.
Yes.
And like an 8th grader.
Yeah.
I got in trouble. Like this wasn't just in the last 5 years. This was years ago when I was in, I think it was Colorado. And I did a whole monologue on, guys, what are we doing wrong? Because all these hot teachers are hanging out with the 8th graders.
Well,
And I got spoken to about
I
that.
bet you did.
I'm not saying it wasn't happening years ago. I'm saying that in the last 5 years, it has exploded as a phenomena of these female teachers being arrested.
Thank you, Internet. I mean, honestly,
It's just all over the place.
the Internet is just a cesspool.
Yeah.
Well, but the internet is reporting on the real life situations of teachers hanging out with
Yeah.
kids. I mean, there was one story a little while ago where the teacher and the student were meeting in the parking lot before and after school.
Yeah.
And I
But
don't.
It's not the reporting of the stories, but that there's internet material that's available, and people with ugly hearts are being sucked into watching it, looking at it, fantasizing about it. The internet is a cesspool, and people whose hearts are not like.
Was there not a guy the other day from, I want to say Murfreesboro area, that was charged and arrested on viewing that material for almost 2 decades?
Yes.
Yeah,
a
a
business
chiropractor.
owner. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, has anybody ever asked one of these teachers, like, what do they see in a young teenage
Yeah.
boy? Like, I'm curious as to
but
what
it's
the
not
appeal
about
is.
In the mind of the predator, like it's where you need a Chris
The appeal is
Hansen.
not in the person. The appeal is in the action, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, it doesn't matter what that kid looks like if they feel he's accessible and open to whatever.
And the reverse being true with this male teacher in this alleged incident of,
Yeah.
you know, and to me, it always cracks me up to hear these people are married. Like, that's the part that really tips, like, what has gone on at home to facilitate this
why
behavior.
does that hold on? Why does that surprise you?
Because I'm happy in my marriage. I'm fulfilled in my marriage. I'm blessed in my marriage.
No.
and-
I get that.
Yet you
but
have
if-
locked photo files.
Yeah,
Sorry. go on.
as Mystery Spot has pointed out, those are called the hangover files specifically. Okay, they're not called Sam's nudie files. Okay, they're called the hangover files.
Joan has made Sam a little defensive.
Yeah.
Wow.
I have some memories that other people would not want publicized due to the rated R nature of the activities taking place, and I mean that in a like inappropriate for children viewing, not in a sexually explicit way.
Do you know what we need, Joan?
What's that?
We need, like, you know, with Murphy's show, they've got the big trophy in there for the what is it of the day. We need to get like a golden shovel.
Oh,
And so
yeah.
Either
Yeah.
it's never Joan, but like clearly me
I'll have to
and
build
Sam.
a mount and put it, you know, for in there. It can
Right.
rest on the table in here, but it'll probably live full time.
But whichever one of us like just digs ourselves into a big old hole,
Yeah.
they get the shovel for the day, the golden shovel of the day. So Sam, so far, if we had a golden shovel, you would have it. And
I would have
You'd
it
be
for
on your
explaining
way-
to people that you have locked folders on your phone.
no, that you have locked folders on your phone.
So by using a personal example, I'm somehow disparaging myself. How dare you?
Yeah, actually. I'm just kidding. Whatever. Okay, Sam's getting a little defensive, Joan. Should we move on?
Yeah, man.
Man. You know, I think when Sam gets really defensive, I think it's just hitting a little too close to home.
Yeah.
See, the funny thing is you two. Now, just so you know, Sam, this is me getting revenge on you for that whole one-legged thing yesterday.
All right, so I'm waiting for Jones half of that.
Oh,
Well.
she's a little hard to, you know, she doesn't ever
I'm
use a
innocent.
shovel. Joan is as innocent as the day is long.
Yeah.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
We
Anyway,
were just talking about boot knives for her a couple weeks ago.
talking about what?
Boot knives.
Boot knives?
Yeah, for her to be able to kick your tire into a slash.
Oh, okay. Yes, I must have forgotten about that, but I am slightly terrified of Joan at all times. All right, whatever. It is 5:08. Did we do traffic? No, we did not do traffic. Traffic on WTN.
There's nothing happening. There's nothing. Oh, hang on. Now we have something. Of course, as soon as I say it, right? North 9th Street, southbound between Ramsey Street and Main Street, there's a crash, and that roadway is shut down. Again, it's North 9th Street, southbound between Ramsey Street and Main Street. Then there's a problem this morning, an accident in Lebanon. It's Southwater Avenue, northbound side at Academy Road. And that's it.
All right, so the text line, which I just signed on to, 4702, Dan, be honest, the teachers in our day looked like Mel Gibson from Lethal Weapon.
No.
You know, when
Yeah.
Someone pointed that out, and there's a better example I'll come back with.
Angie says, LOL, yes, the golden shovel. Love it. Well, yeah, and that would live, of course, in the studio because I'm famous for, you know, digging my own grave. Let's see here. Somebody says that chiropractor referenced was in Manchester.
What?
You know, I don't remember when I was a kid and I was in high school, junior high and high school, I don't know if I ever had a teacher that I found was attractive.
Yeah.
I mean, the teachers that I remember were, I've mentioned this before, my sex ed teacher was a lady that had to be 70 years old. She looked like a bird. You know what her
They
name
did that
was?
on purpose.
You know what her name was? Mrs. Bird.
Mrs. Bird.
And she looked like a bird.
Oh,
B-Y-R-D.
wow.
Yeah. It was the craziest damn thing. So I don't know if I ever, all my teachers were like old. Now, when you're 8th grade, I mean, everybody looks old to you, but I've never had an attractive teacher when I was in junior high school or high school. And none of
Let you
them.
live on that limb by yourself.
Oh, see, now, hey, Joe, now Sam's going to shut up. Apparently, Sam has photos of his old teachers on his phone. That's what it is.
Oh.
Wow.
That's what
a
it is.
stretch.
Are they clothed?
What?
Well, you seem to know a lot about this teacher attraction student thing.
I do watch a lot of crime YouTube channels on it, and it's just I follow a lot of pages, and everyone's doing something different. Like they're not all using the same cases when they make these videos covering the stories. And I'm like, gosh, there's just a lot of nonsense going on out in our world that
There's
I
a lot
can't
of
use the proper language
perverted
on the
sickness. Yeah.
According to Murphy Show, that guy was Oscaring.
Oscaring.
Yeah, is that a thing? I've never heard of
Does anybody-
Oscaring
yeah.
before.
To me, it sounds like something from The Office.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Well, look up Oscaring on whatever.
Incognito mode. Here we go.
Sam definitely wants this segment to be over.
Let's see.
And 1303. Wait, where was the perv teacher? Where was that, Joan? Where was
the story that this originally came from? This was at Clarksville, Montgomery County.
Clarksville, Montgomery County. 0210. Can you play "Hot for Teacher" by Van
That
Halen?
was already.
There you go.
We would, but we wouldn't be able to play it on the stream.
Oh.
Did you find what Oscaring is?
Oh.
Is it something? Hold on.
Yeah.
It is 5:22.
In the
we
morning.
might be able to get away with it.
So it's actually historical.
Okay.
You know why it's called Oscarine? It's derived from Oscar Wilde following his high-profile 1895 trial and imprisonment for gross indecency with other men.
With other men.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay.
So in a sexual context, Oscarine or to Oscar is a slang term that historically refers to sodomy or homosexual acts.
Okay, now 4859 says this about the guy that was Oscaring, or the teacher. To be fair, if it's an attractive female, no one would care. Now, is that fair? If it's an 8th grade boy, whatever, and it's a teacher, it could be a, 20-something teacher, or it could be a cougar. But if she is doing the same thing, flipping through, and she accidentally shows those photos and word gets around the school, it gets to the parents, would anybody really care? Now,
Yeah.
I would care if it were my son for a couple of different reasons. Number one is because I would be worried about a teacher being predatory towards my kid. But number two, if a male teacher is going to get in trouble for that, then a female teacher should get in trouble for that. So to me, it would be two reasons why I would be passionate about that. A female teacher shouldn't get away with something a male teacher couldn't.
Yeah.
So I think there's that too.
Also, Nick said, Joan, since we're talking about naked photos, I figured I would show you my junk with a picture of a pile of junk. Old cars. Yeah.
The WTN studio. It's 524 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Joan's got the news coming up at 5:30. Joan.
You're going to get called down to the office again.
No, you know what? They totally and completely. Here's how I know that they don't listen. I did not get in trouble for the whole one-legged thing yesterday.
Ta-da!
And if you don't know what I'm talking about, please don't listen to yesterday's 7 o'clock hour.
I don't know. It was like
we
the
sort of
fives.
carried it through the whole show
Boy,
yesterday.
you two sure did.
Kind of
had-
like on a crutch, just limping
Okay.
through.
Sam, do you hear that? You two sure did.
You two sure did, but that's how I know that this program is going unmonitored. Anyway, Joan was coming up in the news at 5:30.
Well, we've got the latest on what's going on with the Save America Act because it did hit the Senate floor yesterday. An update on what's going on there at 5:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
There you go. Joan, this is an American rock band. It's called Van Halen.
I see.
And this is Hot for Teacher. So there you go.
Never heard this before.
By the way, oddly enough, you know what today is? March 18th of 2026?
Hot for Teacher Day?
No.
No?
National Awkward Moments Day. No, believe it or not, that is. It's National Awkward Moments
So we're
Day.
starting strong.
Yeah, we are. We're just veering right into it. All right, it is 5:30, Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Good morning. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. We're at 35 degrees, overcast skies right now. We're headed up near 60 degrees later on, and we'll have an abundance of sunshine as well. The news is not good for the Save America Act. Senate Majority Leader John Thune brought it to the floor yesterday using what's called a floor takeover. It would need all Republicans and some Democrats to support it. But Alaska Senator Lisa Murkowski voted against it. Tom Tillis of North Carolina didn't even show up for that vote.
It needs 60 votes to clear the Senate, as all legislation does, and that would require Democrats, and they don't have nearly that number of Democrats on board, let alone Republicans. There are some moderate Republicans who are against this bill in different forms. It is going to get a vote, though, largely because President Trump has demanded it get a vote.
That's ABC's Jay O'Brien there. Now, Democrats continue to claim that Americans don't have access to identification in order to legally vote. President Trump will travel to Memphis next week to highlight the success of his crime crackdown program.
The White House confirmed the visit will focus on what it says are the achievements of the Memphis Safe Task Force. That group includes federal and state officials working in tandem to address crime in Memphis.
Channel 4's Marius Payton there. There is evidence of success since the task force arrival in Memphis. There have been 7,240 arrests and 1,188 firearms seized. A hearing held yesterday in federal court in Nashville over whether ICE agents acted lawfully when they detained a Spanish-language TV reporter. Stephanie Rodriguez was taken into custody March 4th. She is in the U.S. from Colombia on a tourist visa from 2021. She overstayed that visa. Now she's in custody. A judge granted her a $10,000 bond, though, and the government has appealed that decision. That is the latest news. Stick around for your traffic next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
Okay, still have that accident out on Highway 109 northbound at Academy Road in the Lebanon area. Rudderville and Williamson County, there's an accident. 2 vehicles hit an object in the road. It's reported by the scanner at I-840 westbound past the Arno Road, exit 37 area. East Nashville closed due to a crash at North 9th Street, southbound between Ramsey and Main. Not sure if this is still closed. It was closed overnight per NDOT, but still showing as closed this morning. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
.537, Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. So somebody has posted a list of all of the CNN hoaxes over the last few years. I'm going to tell you.
It must be long.
I had forgotten about. There's got to be like 50 here. I'm just going to go through some of them. Because remember, what was that thing I posted yesterday on my Twitter? Look up, would you, Sam, look at my Twitter feed and just go down a little bit. I posted something about, you can't make stuff up unless you're CNN. And that's what it was. You can't make stuff up unless it's CNN, MSNBC, Washington Post, etc. So listen to all these hoaxes and see if any of these ring a bell for you, Joan. ICE detains a 5-year-old.
Oh, yeah.
That was a hoax, right? Trump is destroying the White House hoax, right? He's building the ballroom. That's not destroying the White House. Israeli troops murdered food-seeking Palestinians. I remember that one.
Oh, yeah.
Photo of starving Gaza baby. That was a hoax. Do you remember also the hoax of the starving Palestinian? Turns out the guy had like cancer. Remember that one?
Yeah. Yep.
Let's see here. The Elon Musk Nazi salute hoax. There was that one.
And then Cory Booker does the same thing.
Yes. And then, well, not only did Cory Booker do it, but also Hakeem Jeffries did it as well. Violent crime is down under Biden-Harris hoax. We remember that one. I'm not going to do this all day. I'm not going to. Let's see here. COVID lab leak theory is a racist hoax. That was a big one. Where, we all said the lab leak theory is, that's where I went immediately, the lab leak theory. And everybody called people who said that a racist and, all that kind of stuff. And it turned out that we were true. We were correct.
Don't forget the Joe Rogan intertwined into that, how they colored his skin after he took horse dewormer.
Yeah. Oh,
that
yeah.
whole thing with ivermectin.
Going back to that Chinese one, though.
Yeah.
And they have they spider after that. So once you plant that hoax, then it becomes, so many people have been so racist against Chinese people since that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're xenophobic.
Yeah, you're xenophobic. It just go. And I actually saw something yesterday talking about. And this was on ABC News, talking about how Americans still haven't recovered from, being prejudiced against Chinese people because of COVID.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm not. I mean,
goodness.
They continue to make these claims that are so unsubstantiated. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Kamala was never America's border czar hoax. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Because they knew that she was going to run for president. They knew that they left the border wide open. So all of a sudden, Kamala was not America's border czar.
Pretty sure the only thing she ever did was go to Guatemala and tell people not to come here. I think that was the extent of her czaring.
The Juicy Smollett hoax.
Oh, yeah.
I still remember when that story came out, and Pamela Furr, I think, was where you're sitting, Joan, and I forget who was producing, and I'm talking about it, and I'm like, why would two random Trump supporters be walking around with bleach and nooses? That doesn't make any sense.
Right.
And
in the middle of winter.
In the middle of winter on the coldest night in Chicago in years.
Yeah.
And And of course, old Jesse Smollett is out there. What was he doing? Looking for a Subway sandwich shop?
He went to a Subway sandwich shop.
And then some guy starts attacking me on Twitter as a racist. I can't believe what I'm hearing on WTN. I mean, this whole thing just goes on.
How about the race car driver? That
Bubba Wallace.
Bubba Wallace and the noose.
I'm sure that's in here somewhere.
It was a smaller replica noose, even though it's the exact same kind of tie-off we use to open and lower garage doors.
The NASCAR noose hoax.
Yep, that's it.
That's on here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Georgia Jim Crow 2.0 hoax.
Oh, yeah.
That was a big one. Do you know what this is?
Oh, Florida don't say gay.
Yes.
Florida
I
don't
remember
say,
that
and
one.
Do you know that when I was in Washington, D.C., I kept on saying, listen, we're not going to call this the Don't Say Gay bill because it never says that in the text of the bill. And I was told that I'm wrong, that this is the popular way that people refer to it, and that's how we should refer to it.
With a misnomer.
That was okay with them. Yeah.
Biden sharp as attack hoax.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Iowa poll hoax. You know, it's so funny. If you look back at, I think I've spoken about, I mean, not surprisingly, but I think that I've covered, and you did too, no doubt, Joan, when you were in Washington, D.C., in a different context. But, you know, no doubt that I've spoken about, I think, every single one of these hoaxes.
What's the most egregious to you on that list?
They're all so infuriating.
What is the biggest slap in the face of the American people?
The very fine people hoax.
Yeah.
The very fine people hoax.
I got to go with sharp as attack. Lying about the condition of the president.
And Joan Shingang, I'm going to pronounce it, Shanga Kawawa.
You know what? We need to put that in a news intro for Joan Jones.
Joan Shingang.
Oof.
Doing the news, maybe.
I think, you know what? You may be right, actually, Sam.
Because that's treasonous.
Yeah.
Because that's treasonous.
Treasonous.
The Donald Trump find people on both sides hoax. That was something the media ran with, and that was a blatant lie. Even Snopes eventually cleared Donald Trump in all of that. Joe Biden even used that incident, that hoax, as a reason to run for president. Remember that whole thing?
Yeah.
So that's a great point, though, Sam, where everybody in America knew that Joe Biden was not sharp as attack. But we kept being told that he was, not only by the Democrats, but by the media as well.
Don't believe your lying eyes.
So, yeah, exactly. So,
But when you mill from the bill.
So that's a great question. Which one is, you know what you want to do? I know we've done this before. Let's each pick one. Joan, Sam, me. Let's each pick one. And then what we'll do is we'll ask the YouTube poll. We'll do a YouTube poll on which one was the most egregious. What were we going to say, Joan?
That somebody else, 4859, posted this one. Remember that the hoax where they said that Trump disrespected Japan's prime minister because he dumped a bowl of fish food in the pond?
Even though, yeah.
But in reality, the prime minister did it first, and then Trump did it so they could get into their meeting, and that was when I knew the media could never be trusted again. I mean, there's so many. How about Vindman? Vindman, the guy who said he listened in on the phone call.
Oh, the
Ukrainian prime minister phone call.
Yeah, Alex
Vindman.
Yep.
And that call got him impeached. That call got President Trump impeached.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
it is
and
crazy.
now that guy Vindman is like a congressman, I think. How does these things happen?
You know what? I don't know. The Donald Trump told people to drink bleach. Never happened.
How about the ICE agents on horseback? I think it was actually CBP agents, Border Patrol agents.
Oh, whipping the Haitians.
Oh,
yeah. My goodness.
Yeah.
Did this, when you put all of these together, Joan.
Got a season of South Park.
Did it really?
I mean, no, I'm saying when you put all of these together, you could script a season of a show like South Park where you mock them relentlessly.
Don't forget, getting the jab will stop the spread.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that whole hoax about the people who are not getting their vaccinations are the ones that are spreading it. And we are responsible for the deaths of people across the country.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I think that created a psychological divide in which we can no longer see repair going forward with certain people when it comes to discourse.
Listen, they wonder why vaccines are down.
I know.
That's why vaccines are down, because of that whole thing. So
they lied so much.
They lied so much. And, the other question, though, okay, so then do you have to differentiate between what a hoax is and bad reporting? Simply put, bad reporting. Because a hoax is something where the media is intentionally lying to you, as opposed to just, they got it wrong. But I think every single one of these that we've mentioned already, I think these are all the media intentionally lying.
Yeah.
Right? Has there been one that we've talked about that was actually faulty reporting?
Well,
because Joan, faulty reporting does happen. I mean, let's be honest. Faulty reporting does.
It's going to happen.
Yes, but when the media lies to you intentionally to promote a certain narrative, decidedly anti-conservative, anti-Donald Trump, that's what all these are.
There's the crime of the leaving facts out of the story that would otherwise make you think differently about the conclusion.
Bingo.
Well, and to your point
ace at that
about just repeating nonsense instead of critiquing it, the president himself came out and said, if you get this vaccine, you won't get COVID. So, to a degree of that, they're not shouldering all of the blame. They could have been way more critical about it, but they...
Well, yeah, because if the president of the United States at the time Biden says something like that, then they're just reporting what Biden says. But you're right, there wasn't nearly enough back in that time. There wasn't nearly enough discussion on what Joe Biden had said, because there were a lot of experts, and I don't want to redo COVID, but there are a lot of experts that were saying, no, Joe Biden is absolutely wrong. And again, I don't want to go backwards into COVID, but, there's a lot of different ways that you could look at, what happened during COVID. You could talk about Dr. Anthony Fauci and a lot of the misinformation that he threw out there. We could talk about the fact that Anthony Fauci and the Biden administration, they were suppressing alternate voices or voices that were differing from what Fauci was saying.
Yep.
The Great Barrington Project, if that's the name of it, I can't remember now, but where you had all of these very esteemed scientists that came out and said the lockdowns are absolutely wrong. You're going to do more damage than good. And ultimately, that proved to be correct. So there's so much here. All right, so we're each going to pick one.
Oh, this is so hard.
I know. We're each going to pick one, and then we have 4 choices up there. Okay, so we're going to have 4 choices. So we're going to, me, Joan, and Sam will each pick one hoax, and then, Joan, you're going to be in charge of picking one from either whatever you're on, either the super text or the YouTube chat. So I'll go first. My choice for the biggest hoax, I will go ahead and go with the both sides. Very fine people hoax.
Okay,
That's what I'm going to go with. So even though I know that I'm going to lose, because I think that, Sam, you're going to go with?
Yeah, sharp as a tack.
I think my official choice is what I said first, which is very fine people on both sides. I do believe, though, that the sharpest attack is going to win because it was so obvious to everybody. But, Joan, what is yours?
Mine is going to be Russia, 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 because it started it all. It was the beginning of this nonsense, crazy, ridiculous path that we've been on ever since.
Yeah, you're right.
Even though it's now been proven that literally Obama and Hillary fabricated the entire thing.
All right, so now we need to pick one more. Joan, do you have one? From the super text line or from...
Let's see.
I can pick one. Let me see.
Hands up, don't shoot. Oh, that's a good one.
Hands up, don't shoot. That was a big one. That was a very big one. Ferguson, Missouri, Michael Brown. Am I getting this right? Michael Brown?
Yes, Michael Brown.
Yeah, Michael Brown. It was said that he was on his knees, hands up, said, hands are up,
Please don't shoot me.
And the
And-
police officer,
Yeah.
Darren, shot him anyway. And when in reality, Michael Brown was attacking the police officer at the time of the shooting. So,
Yep.
yeah, absolute blatant lie. The Mueller investigation, which is, I think, what you're referring to, Joan, with Russia. So 5294 says the Russian hoax was the biggest one. There's not even a distant second. Okay.
Wow.
Again,
They did impeach a president, and Joan, you make a very good
but
point.
that originated within the Obama
It did.
and
Yeah.
Hillary. So, again, better reporting could have been done on that, I would argue.
They won Pulitzers
Yeah.
for that. Okay.
Yeah.
Because
So,
they believed it was
Yes.
true.
so here's my take. So are those 4 up? Did you put them up?
Hands up, don't shoot. That's the fourth one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I will say this. I believe that that Sharp's attack is going to win. And here's why. Because that was obvious to people who were not even
Yep.
politically
Not
affiliated.
even American.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, I mean, you could be somebody who didn't follow politics, but you could look at Joe Biden and hear him speak and say, that man is not all there. So that went beyond politics. That went beyond narrative. That was just something that the people were seeing with their own eyes. So I think that's
Or smelling if you were in the Vatican.
so that I think that may win, but go to YouTube right now, watch us. And by the way, we've got some new lighting in the studio. It doesn't make me look any better, but whatever.
You're
And the
one that chose
TV's
to wear
actually
white.
working. So
The TV's actually working today, so it's a
a
banner
bonus
day.
day.
Anyway, so yeah, go take the poll. What do you believe was the biggest hoax? I think we've done this before, but I love that now this has all been put into one big, long list. And I'm going to see if I can somehow post this to my social media. But anyway, it is a great list. And a lot of these things I had completely forgotten about. You could do an entire...
There's George Floyd, too. Like, we never even got to I Can't Breathe. The hoax about him dying because the officer was kneeling on his neck for 9 point whatever seconds.
How many seconds was it? It was 9 minutes.
Oh, minutes. Yeah.
It was 9 minutes. And
I saw a video the other day of a police stop and the officer put his knee on the neck. I mean, it's still going on because it's a
Right.
practical use of keeping a person down that you want to arrest.
And any first responder would tell you that if you are screaming that you can't breathe, you in fact actually you can.
if
because
you're speaking, you
if
can
you're
breathe.
speaking, you can
Yes,
breathe.
right.
Here's one last one. Donald Trump assaulted Secret Service agents and grabbed the steering wheel of the
Yes.
beast. Remember that hoax?
Yes.
And then the Secret Service agents were like, literally, that never happened. So, anyway, all right, very good.
There's
But
so
by
many.
the way, my Corvette's in a locked garage.
Sorry, I had a Biden moment.
No, that's okay. Well, that's the classified documents.
Yeah, scandal that is.
Very, very scandalous.
The scandal is President Biden and not President Trump.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. All right, we got to go. It is 5:54, Nashville's Morning News. Joan's got the news at 6. Joan.
Yeah, we'll check in on what's happening on the Save America Act and what our own Senator Marsha Blackburn has to say about it coming up here.
She came out in fuego.
Yeah.
I know you've probably got just a little soundbite.
I have a snippet of it. Yeah.
I've got, she went on for, I don't know how long, but I've got like a 2-minute, 19-second version
Yeah.
of it. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I've got some of that as well, talking about the Save America Act. And that is coming up in the news at 6 with Joan Jones. Anything else? I interrupted your tease. I
No,
apologize.
that's good. I think that's good.
All right, very good. Got a lot more straight ahead. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. All right, so I've just done something. I don't know if it's going to be good or not, but I'm taking a photo. People are begging me for this list that we were talking about, the top CNN hoaxes.
Oh, yeah.
So,
And they got to see you take it.
was I on camera?
Yes.
So so I'm taking I've literally taken a photo of the computer, and I'm hoping that this turns out. I'm going to, and then I'll send it to Sam, who can clean it up, and then I'll post it to my social media, because you could do an entire journalism class on what not to do, courtesy of CNN. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll go ahead and I'll post that as soon as I can get this photograph that I just took of the computer. I'm sure it's going to be really good and stellar. Anyway, we've got a lot more straight ahead, including, yes, the SAVE Act is now going to be debated in the Senate. It's not going to. Do we all accept the fact that it's not going to be passed? Like,
I think it's
not
pretty
going
clear.
to be. Yeah, it's not going to be passed. So I think that it's not going to pass. John Thune, I think, is under a lot of pressure to get the vote. We'll talk about that and a whole lot more straight ahead. It is Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Good morning. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. We're at 35 now. Overcast skies, but those clouds will clear away. Later today, we'll have some sunshine and up near 60. Debate underway on the Senate floor on the Save America Act that requires proof of citizenship to register to vote and photo ID at the polls. Tennessee U.S. Senator Marsha Blackburn, talking with Matt Murphy yesterday, says she'll be putting pressure on the senators who balk at this.
That is something that over the next few days, we're going to be hammering this on the floor to make certain that people all across the country are aware.
Now, multiple polls show 83% of Americans support requiring photo ID to vote, but at least 4 Republicans are against the Save America Act, including Mitch McConnell, Tom Tillis, Lisa Murkowski, and, of course, Susan Collins. Iran has now confirmed that its security chief, Ali Larijani, was killed in a targeted strike by Israel. Now, as that conflict continues, former National Security Council counterterrorism official and ABC News contributor Javed Ali is talking about the walls closing in on Iran.
The end state, whether it's a couple days or a couple weeks away or longer, can the U.S. live with the regime still intact, but with a different level of leaders, but a much weakened Iranian military that can't threaten its neighbors? That is one scenario for success, but is that going to result in that time frame, and is that what President Trump truly would like to see at the end of this?
Now, who replaces Larijani is still unknown. Market numbers brought to you by Beacon Capital Management, online at beaconcm.com.
Stocks on Tuesday continued to gain back ground lost in last week's big sell-off. The Dow yesterday gained 47 points to close just below 47,000. The S&P picked up 0.25%. The Nasdaq added 0.5%. The Board of Governors wraps up its latest two-day meeting today, but don't expect the Federal Reserve to move on interest rates. The war in Iran has added inflationary pressures against a rate drop from the Fed. Oil prices are almost certainly at the center of the Fed's calculations. Iran's threats to tanker traffic through the Strait of Hormuz have pushed up crude prices and driven the average gas price to $3.83 a gallon. That's the highest in 2.5 years. The college basketball championship is getting underway this week and won't end until the final on April 6th. Employment firm Challenger Gray and Christmas estimates that March Madness will cost the U.S. economy $12 billion in lost productivity. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Stock futures are all pointing up this morning with the Dow futures up 207 right now. But Brent crude is also up. It's at $104.02 per barrel. That's the latest news. Traffic is next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News. It is a crash this morning in Gordonsville on 40 westbound past Alexandria, exit 254. Also, watch yourself in East Nashville. Got a closure because of a crash. It's North 9th Street, southbound side between Ramsey Street and Main Street that it's closed this morning. Also in Rudderville, I-840 westbound side before Arno Road, there's an accident involving two vehicles that hit an object in the road. Not really sure what that is. Traffic every 10 minutes, every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
.607 Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. All right, so real quick, I figured out how to post that list of all of those hoaxes from the past many years. Follow me on X at Dan Mandis Show. Iran is now vowing revenge after, of course, we killed two of their top generals. And so Iran, of course, now is doing what they do, vowing revenge. And I think for, Donald Trump, I think he's at the point with Iran where he's basically saying, hit me with your best shot. And the U.S. has now told embassies across the world, U.S. embassies across the world, to review their security because obviously Iran is threatening our embassies and have been.
So that's two more top officials and the last Ayatollah. How many in total does that make? Is it like 50? Are we up to 50 top people at this point?
I have. You know what? Google that because I'm not sure. I know that it's a lot. Good Lord, man. Just drink some water. Anyway, all right. So we do have the latest on the war in Iran, excursion, conflict, whatever you want to say. But President Trump, this was a big deal yesterday, so I'm just going to talk about this a little bit. The head of the counterterrorism unit for Donald Trump resigned in protest because of the conflict in Iran, saying they did not pose a threat. Now, here's what he said. Guy's name is Joe Kent. He says, I cannot, in good conscience, support the ongoing war in Iran. His exact quote, Iran posed no imminent threat to our nation. Now, this is the head of counterterrorism that said this. And so part of my question would be, did this guy belong in the job in the first place? The president was asked about this yesterday.
Director of National Counterterrorism, Joe Kent, he just resigned today. He said he can't support your conflict with Iran. What's your reaction to that?
So one of the things that I thought was interesting, I'm going to play the president's reaction, but this guy, Joe Kent, he had an amazing, and I mean an amazing military career, but his first wife, was actually killed in the line of fire in battle. So the Democrats are jumping on this. This was Donald Trump's answer when he was asked about this.
Well, I read his statement. I always thought he was a nice guy, but I always thought he was weak on security, very weak on security. I didn't know him well, but I thought he seemed like a pretty nice guy. But when I read his statement, I realized that it's a good thing that he's out, because he said that Iran was not a threat. Iran was a threat. Every country realized what a threat Iran was. The question is whether or not they wanted to do something about it.
Right. And so one of the things that I noticed is that the president, he kind of pulled his punches a little bit talking about this guy because, he's been through a lot. Again, lost his first wife in battle. And this guy had an amazing military career. I believe he had 11 tours of duty. And he was, again, Donald Trump's head of counterterrorism. One of the things, though, that people are talking about, maybe you've heard about this, maybe you haven't, is that he was being frozen out. He was being sidelined within the Trump administration because they said that he was a leaker. And remember that the Trump administration first time around, was essentially paralyzed by all of those leaks. And so for the president, he is particularly sensitive to leaks coming out of his administration. So this guy, Joe Kent, had the reputation within the administration of being a leaker. So he was kind of being phased out. The president actually said that, told Tulsi Gabbard that she needed to fire Joe Kent. She did not do it. And so this may have been an instance where it was, okay, you can't fire me, I quit. There's a ton of reporting on this that, again, Joe Kent was being frozen out. Then Donald Trump posts a screenshot of a text, a tweet that Joe Kent sent out quite some time ago. And this is what he said. He was tweeting at Donald Trump. He said, "We should not sit and wait for the next attack." By the way, I've got this on the video. He said, "We should not sit and wait for the next attack. Wipe Iran's ballistic capability out and get our troops out of Iraq. They are only targets now." So Joe Kent basically was all for, utilizing this kind of, military excursion to defang Iran back when we were talking about Iran years ago. So I think this makes all the sense in the world. He says that this is, going to be part of our, I don't know exactly what this means. It's military speak. No, USWIA/KIA is a tribute to the professionalism of our military and intel professionals, not Iranian restraint. So he was out there talking about how we should not sit and wait for the next attack, wipe Iran's ballistic capability out now. I mean, he was all for it until he was being phased out. Then all of a sudden, he decides that he's going to quit in a blaze of glory, which it seems like that's what Joe Kent was trying to do when he resigned to J.D. Vance and then goes public by saying that Iran is not an immediate threat. So it seems like this guy was all over the place. And I think that he's bitter because he was being phased out. What were you going to say, Sam?
Wounded in action or killed in action.
Got it. Okay. Wounded in action, killed in action. So I guess now the question is, was Joe Kent in the meetings when the Trump administration was planning going into Iran? Now, word is that he was not because they didn't like all of his leaking. But the president has been very clear. We do have a threat with Iran. Oh, by the way, the other thing that he said was that the president is being manipulated by Israel. So this is a guy who, you have to say thank you for your service. I get all that. But this was a guy who was clearly angry that he was being phased out. He was being accused, no doubt, within the administration of leaking information. So he was apparently not in the meetings. He knew that he was more than likely on his way out. And so he's decided now to say, you can't fire me, I quit. Oh, and by the way, he doesn't feel, as the head of Trump's counterterrorism team, that Iran was an imminent threat. And he also, again, says that Israel is manipulating Donald Trump. Now, he doesn't offer any kind of actual proof or evidence. And you know what's going to happen? What's going to happen, and this is all very well played out, is Joe Kent is going to become the media's darling. He's going to be on CNN. He's going to be on MSNBC. He's going to be on all the networks as well because he is willing to dish. He'll probably maybe even be on The View. So he's going to be all over the place. And no doubt he's also going to have a book deal. So for Joe Kent, I think this is sort of a Hail Mary to keep relevance. But for a lot of people within the MAGA movement and within the Republican side of the government, they're calling this guy out. What Mike Johnson has to say, Speaker Mike Johnson, is straight ahead. It is 6:15. Time to check the roads on WTN.
On the scene, Rudderville, 840 westbound before Arno Road. We've got an accident, and Rolling Mill Hill, Hermitage Avenue, there's a crash at Driftwood Street. No problems on 24 or 65. I'm Christy O'Brien.
As far as your weather for today, mostly cloudy, breezy, and a high of 58. So this was House Speaker Mike Johnson, because you know what happened yesterday when all of this came down is you had the media they were hyperventilating over this story of the resignation of Joe Kent. This was what Speaker Mike Johnson had to say. This is audio only.
I'm on the Gang of Eight. I got all the briefings. We all understood there was clearly an imminent threat, that Iran was very close to the enrichment of building missiles at a pace that no one in the region could keep up with.
So if this guy, Joe Kent, though, was so wrong, was he the right guy for the job in the first place? Now, based on the tweet that he sent at Donald Trump a while ago, it looks like at one point he and Donald Trump were on the right side, on the same page. So at some point, he just decided to go rogue. And I don't know why he decided to go rogue, except that he was going to burn the place down on the way out because he was being phased out. Donald Trump has surrounded himself with people who support him and who support his decisions as well. And so I don't think that he was in the room when the decisions to go after Iran were made. And I don't know if he aired his concerns then or not. But this is more from Speaker Mike Johnson.
Iran was building up ballistic missiles at such a rapid pace, and we knew that their plan was to fire them upon Americans. The commander-in-chief and his administration had a very difficult decision to make. I don't know where Joe Kent is getting his information, but he wasn't in those briefings, clearly, because the Secretary of State, the Secretary of War, and everyone, the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Kane, they had exquisite intelligence, and we understood that this was a serious moment for us. Had the president waited, I am personally convinced that we would have mass casualties of Americans, service members and others, and our installations would have been dramatically damaged. And so the president felt that he had to strike first to prevent those mass casualties.
Yeah, and that is what the president's side has been all along. By the way, the tweet that Joe Kent sent where he was talking about it, and I love that Donald Trump screenshotted and posted this. This was back in January of 2020, where Joe Kent said we should not sit and wait for the next attack, wipe Iran's ballistic capability out now, and get our troops out of Iraq. They are only targets now. So something happened to Joe Kent, and I think that he was just bitter. Washington Post national security reporter John Hudson had the scoop on yesterday afternoon, about Kent resigning in person to the vice president, the DNI, Tulsi Gabbard, and also at the meeting with Kent and Vance. This is what he reported. The vice president encouraged him to speak to White House Chief of Staff and President Trump before making any final decisions. A White House official telling Hudson from the Washington Post. The VP encouraged him to be respectful to POTUS. I don't think he was respectful to the president. Hudson added in a follow-up post that on X that Vance supports the president's reasoning for Operation Epic Fury. John Hudson adding later, the Iranian regime's nuclear ambitions unquestionably endangered the U.S. and President Trump's leadership in making our country stronger and safer. That is a spokesman for J.D. Vance. And so, for Joe Kent, it's probably going to be the end of his political career, but he's coming out with a book. You know that he's going to be on CNN. You know that he's going to be on NBC. He's
and
also
Tucker Carlson.
Oh God, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens. Yeah, the whole thing, Joan, where he says that Trump is being manipulated or led by Benjamin Netanyahu. That will make him a hero to the Tucker Carlson, the Candace Owens wing of the conservative movement. So that is just how it's going to go, and you know how this is going to play. And he's going to get his, time in the sun, which is exactly what he wanted. Because if you think about the alternative, what was the alternative? Donald Trump was going to, because Trump had demanded that he be fired. Tulsi Gabbard hadn't gotten around to it yet. And so for this guy, had he gotten fired, he would just go onto the trash bin of history, and no one would ever hear from him again. And again, with all due respect to his incredible military career, as I said, he had 11 tours of duty. His wife was killed while serving, I believe it was in Afghanistan. So he had an incredible military career. But when he decided to go against Donald Trump and do what he did by going public, then I think that he has made himself a media darling, and it's certainly a darling for the Democrats. And again, as you said, Joan, people like Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens as well. It is 6:21 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Joan's got the news at 6:30. Joan.
Yeah, the leadership bench in Iran just got a little shorter this morning. Another official is dead. We'll tell you about it coming up in the news at 6:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
And the nation. Information fueled, opinion driven. Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
621, Mark Spain Real Estate, and the guaranteed offer for Mark Spain Real Estate is the easiest way to sell your home. You're going to save time and, yes, make the most money as well. You can say goodbye to the stress that comes with showings, open houses, and costly home repairs. Now, my friends at Mark Spain Real Estate, they're going to sell your home fast and, yes, for maximum profit. Now, one of their satisfied clients, Steve, said that his experience with Mark Spain Real Estate was beyond 5 stars. Not only did he get an amazing offer on his home, but he says that they closed quickly as well. He says, I'm so appreciative of Mark Spain Real Estate. Well, Steve's obviously not alone. Mark Spain Real Estate has over 13,000 5-star reviews, and they sell more than 38 homes a day, making them the most experienced real estate team in America. You can trust Mark Spain to provide the strongest cash offer in the industry and sell your home hassle-free. Find out what the guaranteed offer would be on your home today. There's no obligation. Call them at 855-299-SOLD, 855-299-SOLD. Or go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
Your state lawmakers to vote yes on the Regulatory Freedom Act. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
623 on WTN. Dan Mandis here. You know, it's hard to believe. It's been just over a year since I had lens replacement surgery at Vision for Life with Dr. Horn, and I can honestly say this past year of clear vision has been incredible. Now, you don't realize how much blurry vision affects or impacts your life until it's gone. Now, I can tell you that I can, see in swimming pools. That was one of the things when I went to Wilderness of the Smokies. They have the big indoor water park. And for the first time, I can see when I'm in the wave pool, when I'm, on the slides and everything. Everything's not blurry. I can actually see. That's one of many things that are different for me now that I've had my vision correction surgery, thanks to Vision for Life and Dr. Horn. So whether you're 18 or 80, Dr. Horn has a vision correction procedure that is right for your age and your lifestyle and your eyes. Now, again, for me, it was lens replacement. For you, it might be LASIK or EVO or custom lens replacement. The procedure is quick, it is painless, the recovery is fast, and the results speak for themselves. So call them if you want the eye surgery yourself or a procedure to help you look better or be able to see better. Call my friends at Dr. Horn and Vision for Life. 615-436-2020, 615-436-2020, visionforlife.com. 627 Super Talk 99.7 WTN. All right, so by the way, 0380 talking about Joan, the resignation of Joe Kent.
Yes.
Another job opportunity for Marco Rubio.
Did you see the photos floating around yesterday of him sitting on the couch? Of course, the memes.
Yeah.
Dressed in green because it was St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
I just love that this meme is continuing.
Well, and I think I've got a hope. Hopefully, I'm going to be able to get to it. But there is a story about how Marco Rubio, the betting markets, the poly markets.
Yes.
So the chances of Marco Rubio becoming the nominee for the Republicans has skyrocketed for 2028. Has skyrocketed. And I think part of that is because, number one, I think Marco Rubio is really good at everything that he does.
Yeah.
But also because he's becoming a meme in a positive way. There is that as well. Because when you see Marco Rubio with all of his different jobs, and he's doing all of these jobs well, I think people are noticing who he is. And there's quite a bit of brand awareness now with Marco Rubio. And he's also very popular within the conservative movement at a time when some are saying, and I don't know if there's any truth to this, but where some are saying that there is a bit of a shift in the relationship between Donald Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance. So we'll get to that because I think that there is a deeper, broader conversation there. But there's 6276 says Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson, they're now playing to the left. And when I say left, I mean the kooks, says 6276. So I don't know if that's true. I don't know, to be perfectly honest, what Tucker's doing. Tucker used to be, I'm telling you, if you would have asked me maybe 3-4 years ago who my favorite, television personality was, it would have been Tucker Carlson. And Candace Owens wouldn't have been too far behind. And the two of them, I don't know what's happened to them. I don't even recognize them.
Well, it's the same thing that happened to Marjorie Taylor Greene. And now this guy. There's something going on. I see it, I see something very suspicious happening.
I think
if you follow a money trail, you'll find out.
There's something. There's sort of like a niche industry, right?
Yeah.
Where these people that were pro-Trump and now they're negative Trump. And as I said during that monologue, they get all of that attention and all of that adoration from the left. It is 6:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Good morning. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. We'll chalk up another Iranian leader's death at the hands of Israel's precision strikes. Here's Trey Yingst on Fox News not that long ago.
A senior Israeli official telling Fox News that Ismail Khatib, Iran's intelligence minister, was killed in a precision strike overnight. Khatib was responsible for managing Iran's global cells, these sleeper cells in countries around the world that even threatened U.S. politicians and President Trump. This official says this man had blood on his hands, American blood.
Khatib, by the way, was the only official to have survived that opening round of strikes in Operation Epic Fury when Iran's supreme leader was killed along with 40 others. Montgomery Central High School teacher Matthew Vetter under investigation after showing a student a nude photo of himself on his cell phone. The school says it was a mistake, but the girl's parents say this teacher has been a problem.
This cannot continue. He's already had multiple complaints on him from the school before. Children have been removed from his class into another class previously that we were unknown about.
To avoid confrontation with him.
Those parents speaking to Channel 4. Vetter still working, but at another location while the investigation continues. Venezuela defeated the United States in the World Baseball Classic last night.
Late-night drama in the World Baseball Classic Championship game. Team USA's Bryce Harper tied it up against Venezuela with a 2-run home run in the 8th inning. For the U.S., it was only their third and final hit of the night. The game wasn't tied for long. Venezuela snatching the lead back in the 9th on a run-scoring double. And the Venezuelan fans in Miami were roaring, as you can hear. The game ended on a strikeout, giving Venezuela its first World Baseball Classic title.
That's ABC's Sophie Flay reporting. President Trump's response on his Truth Social account, the president posted in all caps, one word, statehood. That is the latest news. Stick around. Your traffic is next. I'm Joan Jones.
You know what, Joan?
Yeah.
I'm sitting here thinking about, because when you said we got another one of these, or Israel got another one of these guys in Iran.
Yeah.
You know, we could play Another One Bites the Dust.
We could.
But I think we'd get tired of the song.
Yeah.
I mean, because we would just, it'd be like every day.
Is it very Christian of us to cheer on the death of people, though? I don't know.
If they're Iranian?
Yeah.
If they're Iranian bad guys,
Well, I know.
I don't want to be struck by lightning, but I think God would understand. But maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna defer to you on that one, Joan.
Yeah. I obviously I am not cheering it on, but I am happy to see them go.
Coincidence? I think not.
So there you go. Hey, that's the latest news.
Yes.
Stick around for your traffic next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
Alrighty, thank you, Joan. 6:33. Dan Mandis here. It is March. Of course, a lot of weddings are being planned, and I can tell you that the best place for engagement rings and wedding rings is Brentwood Jewelry. Now, you've got to check out their vast collection of wedding bands and semi-mount engagement rings and loose diamonds as well. They've got rings for every budget and every style for both men and women. So if you're thinking about popping the question, there is no question where you need to go to get your engagement rings. That, my friends, is Brentwood Jewelry. Now, this is the official jewelry store of the Mandis House. I bought Amy a couple of amazing pairs of earrings at Brentwood Jewelry. She bought me, of course, my favorite watch, but this is a great place to go. Brentwood Jewelry. Check them out. 7012 Church Street East, located in the heart of Brentwood, just off Franklin Road at BrentwoodJewelry.com.
All right, so some super texters talking about this accident and slowdown on westbound 40. It's past Alexandria, exit 254. Police are reportedly on the scene of that one. We don't have any cameras out that far, so I really can't tell exactly what's going on. 65 in the southbound lanes, Millersville at Louisville Highway, exit 98. Watch for a crash. Hendersonville, Vietnam Veterans Boulevard, the westbound side before New Shackle Island Road. There is a crash scene as well. One more in Rolling Mill Hill. It's a crash at Hermitage Avenue and Driftwood Street. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
637 Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Good morning to your friends and welcome on into Nashville's Morning News. All right, so, Joan, I know that you see the same text messages that I do.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I cannot love everyone. I know that I'm supposed to.
I know.
If I'm going to be a good Christian, but I cannot love a bunch of terrorists.
Well, you
I
don't
can't.
even love yourself some days.
What'd you say?
I said you don't even love yourself some days.
I don't love myself any day, actually.
Well, that got way sadder than I intended.
Did you hear?
to.
Did you hear my coughing fit on the show earlier in the following 20 minutes where I was trying to recover? So no, I don't love myself. However, I give myself a break sometimes these days. But I don't love terrorists, and so if that makes me a not so good Christian, okay, then I'll have to work on that. It's a journey, right, Joan?
It's always a journey.
I will work on my love for terrorists if it'll make me a better Christian.
No, you don't need to work on a love for terrorists. You need to have a heart for changing, and not that you'll ever have a chance to be over in Iran and help them, but
I'd pay to see it.
Do you know how you change?
You're not supposed to love them, but you're supposed to have a heart for changing their heart.
Do you know how you change a terrorist's heart?
How?
By evaporating them. Hey, Sam, there's a promo cut right there.
Yeah.
Go ahead and. They're always asking us for promo cuts. Anyway, whatever. So I think that we'll have to work on the love in our hearts for terrorists.
Yeah, I know. It's just a struggle. It's a struggle for, I think, every Christian that understands that that's,
the struggle is real.
Yeah.
The struggle is real. So anyway, all right. Hey, by the way, can you check in? Do we have Brian Wilson at 7 o'clock this morning, 7:07? It is Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
And, of course, on Wednesdays, we have Wednesdays with Wilson. Hey, I was gone. Speaking of which, I was gone last week. But did you guys cover the big sort of controversy over the meals the troops are eating these days?
Oh, because of the steak and lobster?
Yeah.
It was brushed over.
Yeah, we didn't really touch on it that much, and it was such a.
It is so stupid. I'm gonna play this audio then. I'm gonna just because it's been updated. Go ahead, Joan. Real quick. What did you want to say?
No. I love that you're going to update it.
Okay, so this is Paul
Frame it
Begala.
first, though.
This was on CNN. Listen.
He has spent $15 million in 1 month for ribeye steak, $6.9 million for lobster tail, $225 million for furniture. He spent more in the month of September than most countries on earth spend in their defense.
Paul, do you believe
all
do you
for
believe,
himself? Lobster tails?
Do you believe
while our troops are eating MREs?
No. Do you
lobster
believe,
tails?
Do you believe the Secretary of Defense is personally eating all the lobster?
Well, he
It's
can't
for
eat
the
16
troops.
Oh, really? The troops are getting lobster?
Frequently in
oh
theater,
my God.
troops who are going to war
Oh, my God.
great meal. You know that.
They're
You
getting
know
lobster.
that.
You are so
I'm gonna
full
get
of it.
killed over this.
You are
You're
so
going to get killed
full of
over
it.
this.
So, I mean, this guy, Paul Begala, clearly, and that's Scott Jennings, in case you didn't know.
That was
And-
audio only, right?
Yeah.
Because he sounds fat.
Paul Begala?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's fat
He's
or
not. He's
Oh,
not.
Well, he sounds it.
He's got a fat head.
Yeah, there is
full of
that.
misinformation. So Paul Begala combing through the budget and finds that the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, spent millions of dollars on food for the troops, including surf and turf. Now, apparently in the military, and somebody might want to mention this to old Paul, but when they're getting ready to go into battle, they give them surf and turf. They give them basically lobster and steak.
Yep.
I mean, that's what they do in the military. I didn't know. Did you know that, Joan?
No, I didn't know
that.
it, actually.
But you know what? I feel like the military should get, steak and lobster whenever they want steak and lobster. So now the troops, in honor of Paul Begala, they have been posting photos and videos of their surf and turf, of their steak and lobster. And I'm going to say, some of the photos look really good. Some of them actually, the food doesn't look real great. But the videos have now started making the rounds of the harsh conditions that our troops are facing in the field. I mean, they're taking, and I'm air quoting this, they're taking showers using buckets of water. Basically, they're barely able to stay clean in the desert, barely able to sleep as they await their orders to, go into Iran. But apparently, as I said, this is like a military tradition where if our men and women of the military getting ready to go to war, they do get that surf and turf or that steak and lobster. But here's the crazy thing. And the obvious questions arise. During the Biden administration, we spent $86.9 million to house illegal aliens coming across the southern border, or people flown in courtesy of the Biden administration. So $87 million, and that was just one hotel contract. $2.5 billion overall to pay for housing costs through Joe Biden's administration. And I've seen some estimates as high as $451 billion in total fiscal burdens due to Joe Biden's open border policies. But we're going to sit here and the Democrats are going to complain about what we spent on surf and turf for the troops in the Middle East. Is that really what we're going to do?
Before we sent them to stage in the Strait of Hormuz and around in the areas of Iran. Before they were sent off on deployment.
And that's the thing. So the hypocrisy, I don't even know if this is hypocrisy. I think it's just stupidity on the side of the Democrats. And I don't know if Paul Begala, I don't know if there's been a follow-up to all of this, but you know what? Let's go back and check the tape. Was he nincompoop in the news for Murphy's show on this particular day? Because I got to tell you, if I did nincompoop in the news, he would be mine. Because that guy is just a moron. And by the way,
do you know he's a former advisor to President Bill Clinton?
I mean, I'm not shocked.
Yeah.
I mean, of all the Democrat
He's been
presidents
around for a long time.
Hey, you might want to get that thunder ready because I'm going to say something that might be controversial. But of the last three Democrat presidents, you've got Biden, Clinton, and Obama, right? Am I missing anybody? I don't think so, right? So of the last three Democrat presidents, I find Bill Clinton to be the least horrifying. I think that's okay to say.
Isn't that weird? Yes.
Obama, horrifying.
Absolutely.
Obama, absolutely race baiting all the time. We could go into the Obamacare, that whole thing.
Are we just saying as a when it comes to the office of the president? When it comes to Clinton, because he's
that's where it gets a little iffy because, of course, we all know what happened, in that hallway off to the side of the Oval Office. We all know that. But, just generally speaking, from a political standpoint.
You mean Lewinsky?
Yes.
I was talking what they were just in deposition for. Epstein.
Oh, Epstein. Okay. Yeah, you know what? There is that.
Yeah. Kind of.
So now,
taints it a little more.
Now it does taint it a little bit more. I think I may have to revise what I said. I don't know. There you go. I think I just made myself nincompoop in the news. But okay, from a political standpoint, with Bill Clinton, when you compare it to Obama and, of course, Joe Biden, good Lord. Anyway, so whatever. But anyway, Paul Begala just made himself look really bad. We will continue on this and a whole lot more straight ahead. It is 6:45, time to check the roads on WTN. As far as your weather goes, mostly cloudy today, breezy, and a high of 58. Appreciate you listening to Nashville's Morning News. All right, so speaking of which, because I was talking about Paul Begala and some of these folks on the left freaking out about the troops eating steak and lobster, and now the troops are pointing out and releasing pictures, posting pictures of them eating the steak and lobster, et cetera. And I think it's all fine, well, and good. We can all make fun of the folks over there at CNN and Paul Begala. But now, again, you have these folks on the left talking about that, but not talking about anything related to the latest on Nick Shirley's exposure of fraud in California. Now, I do have some video here, and I don't know if you've seen any more of the video. I played some of it yesterday. He released a bit of a teaser cut. Now, more video has come out. And I got to tell you, what's funny about all this is I actually recognize some parts of California that he's in, because he's in where I used to live. He's in Southern California. California is such an absolute crap hole these days. So there was one daycare facility, and I'm just going to cut to the chase. Shocker. Somalians and daycare facilities. So I've got video. This is Nick Shirley. He is in California, and he is at one of many Somalian-run daycare facilities where they said that they had 14 kids. None were found, and it didn't really look like a daycare facility at all.
And then in the back corner of this parking lot appears to be the playground. Here's a bunch of garbage, and then right here appears to be the playground. Some strange things are happening outside this daycare. Whether or not it's fraudulent, there is a lot of suspicious activity taking place.
And then this place was also cited for having missing children's records and also not having a facility roster.
So that was part of what they found. And so they show up at this daycare, they knock on the door, and it's just like Minneapolis. There's no kids. There's one really vile Somali woman who, of course, shocker, starts screaming at them.
Either way, can we enroll a child into the daycare?
You don't know what's going on.
Well, it says there's 14 children enrolled here on the state of California.
All right.
It says there-
I love that. You don't know what's going on. And then just slams the door on Nick Shirley.
There's 14 children enrolled here.
You don't care.
I do care. Then where are the
Oh, the other part about this that was kind of funny, the woman kept trying to tell Nick Shirley that the reason why she didn't answer the door was because she was naked, even though she was clearly clothed. I mean, these videos are starting, I mean, there's a lot of things to be pissed off about, but they're also very comical with these vile Somali women.
Children.
You don't care.
Where are the children at? Where are the children at, ma'am? At the end of the day, enrolled for 14 children, no children here, and this is from the state of California. We're not targeting Somalian population. We're just going after daycares, and it just so happens to be that all the daycares, they are Somalian so far.
Yeah, they're all Somalian.
Dude is going to single-handedly submarine Gavin Newsom's presidential hopes.
Well, I think Gavin Newsom single-handedly submarined his hopes by his incompetence and mismanagement and his corruption in the state of California. And you're right, Nick Shirley is the one that is surely going to bring that to light as he is.
Nick Shirley.
Even when, when they say that California, they've done investigations. Some of the media in California has done investigations into these fraudulent homes, but where they have no kids, but the state still pays them like they do. That's what Nick Shirley says.
The problem with these daycares is that they receive money through a program called CalWorks, but as you see, there are no children actually there. These fraudsters are simply enrolling children on paper to receive government subsidies. Even after the state visits these daycares and confirms there are no children actually there, the government and the state continue to give these daycares money.
So why is that? Now, remember, and I've asked Sam to look something up for me, is it because, remember, in Minneapolis, you had all of these Somalians, and you couldn't win Minneapolis without the Somali vote, and you couldn't win Minnesota without winning Minneapolis. In other words, politically, you needed Somalians to win a state office in the state of Minnesota. So I've asked Sam, how many Somalians are in Los Angeles County, which is where this is?
Yeah, I'm a little disturbed at the way this information came out.
Okay.
So California statewide figures show a Somali population of ancestry or descent of around 7,750.
But where are they?
But specific to Los Angeles County, only 281.
Interesting.
But those are Somali born. So it won't separate it in a way. But,
right.
I mean, what is it, 10,000 in Minnesota?
Yeah, it was thousands. I don't remember the numbers from Minnesota. But so I wonder, I don't know why they won't fix this problem in California if it doesn't sound like from the numbers that they are that important politically. So I don't know why, unless some money is being given to the Somalians and then that money goes right back into the bank accounts or the campaigns of the Democrats there in the state of California. But, to bottom line all of this, Lots of Smalley daycares in California. No kids. Another one, small one-bedroom apartments where they claimed that they had dozens of kids, and they don't. They also show up in one place, 2 small kids. You'll love this. 2 small kids are all by themselves outside. It is horrifying. And all of this under the watch of Governor Gavin Newsom and Mayor Karen Bass, Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass. So just some bullet points here. $170 million in hospice fraud. And I guess they're still adding the totals for the daycare fraud. But it's a lot. You're talking about millions of dollars. I've seen numbers from, because remember there were state auditors as well. When all of the fraud was being talked about in Minnesota, you had auditors and inspectors in the state of California that were like, you ain't seen nothing yet. Come to California. And they were talking about billions and billions of dollars. And now, of course, Nick Shirley has been getting a lot of hate from the Democrats and specifically Gavin Newsom. And we're going to talk about that straight ahead. It is 6:53 on Nashville's Morning News. Joan has the news coming up at 7. Joan.
Hey, I've got an update on Richard, the elderly Door Dasher. Wait till you hear what's coming up here regarding his GoFundMe account and what his plans are for the future. It's coming up at 7 o'clock on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Thank you, Joan. It is 6:53 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I want you to go to my Facebook page. Joan, if you haven't seen it, I'm very proud of this video. Mm-hmm. I did a little video, a little partner video, if you will. And it's a video that I put together for my friends at Ridgeside Canine Nashville. I went to go speak to one of their clients. I took some video and I took some, video of the dog and the owners of the dog and the family that they helped. And it's a great little video. I want you to go check it out because what this video shows, and you can see it on my Facebook page at Dan Manda Show, is exactly what Ridgeside Canine Nashville can do for you. I mean, if you've got a dog that has aggression problems or potty problems, anxiety, basic obedience, what they can do at Ridgeside Canine Nashville is they can help you help your dog with their behavior issues like they've done for thousands of dogs over the years. And what I do love about Ridgeside Canine Nashville is that they believe that owner education is just as important as dog training. And long-term success with your dog begins with you. And Ridgeside Canine Nashville, they are outstanding at helping your dog behave. They've got a lifetime support guarantee at Ridgeside Canine Nashville, and they can help you 24/7. Go check out the video on my social media at Dan Manda Show on Facebook. Call Jeff today, 615-878-0380, 615-878-0380. Find them online, rsk9nash.com. That's RS, the letter K, the number 9, nash.com, rsk9nash.com. Ridgeside Canine Nashville, veteran-owned, proven results, and guaranteed for life.
Good morning. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. The fight to fund DHS continues today. The Trump administration now agreeing to expand the use of body cameras, limit immigration enforcement in sensitive locations like schools and hospitals, and requiring DHS agents or ICE agents who are not undercover to identify themselves. Yet Democrats say that's not enough, and they're not going to fund the Department of Homeland Security.
The partial government shutdown could soon force some small airports to close because of staffing shortages. More TSA officers being forced to work without pay are now calling out sick, including more than 30% in New Orleans, Atlanta, Houston, and New York. Some airports have been forced to close security checkpoints.
That's ABC's Lionel Moise. Here, meantime, hearings begin today for a new Secretary of Homeland Security.
Senator Mark Wayne Mullen, President Trump's pick to replace Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem. He'll be in a separate confirmation hearing, taking questions from his Senate colleagues. Remember, he's vying to take over an agency that still has not been funded for 33 days now. Tens of thousands of DHS employees, including TSA officers, still going without a paycheck.
That's ABC's Jay O'Brien. Locally, the parents of a young girl speaking out about her teacher who is accused of showing the girl nude photos of himself on his cell phone. The parents, talking to Channel 4, say they don't buy Matthew Vetter's story that it was all just an accident.
The original photo that was the posing of him nude, he swiped over and showed her that and said the word oops, but then went, instead of closing his phone
and then looked for a reaction,
scrolled through a gallery of more photos of himself. So to me, she's a victim, and it's 100% predatory.
Vetter was removed from his position as a science teacher during an investigation. Clarksville Montgomery Schools has placed him on an alternative work site off school property. Got an update here on the story of the elderly Manchester DoorDash driver, Richard. Here's Channel 4's Lydia Fielder.
And now DoorDash's CEO has called Richard to personally thank him for making nearly 6,000 deliveries, folks. Richard told him he's going to keep dashing as long as he can because it keeps him active and he enjoys doing it. Now he has the freedom to decide whether or not he wants to work thanks to those donations.
Yeah, and as of this morning, $955,000 has been raised for Richard. Market numbers brought to you by Beacon Capital Management, online at beaconcm.com. We're looking at stock futures on the plus side this morning. The Dow futures up 144. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News. Kind of a mess this morning. 65 southbound lanes in Millersville. You've got an off-ramp accident this morning. It's the ramp to Louisville Highway exit 98, and the right shoulder is blocked. 40 west in Gordonsville, just past Alexandria. Exit number 254 got a crash with police on the scene. Antioch, Hobson Pike at Hamilton Church Road. Also out at BNA on Murfreesboro Pike westbound past Knights Valley's Drive south. It's stop and go because of a crash there. Hendersonville, Vietnam Veterans Boulevard on the westbound side, just past US 31 East. That's a crash as well. Traffic every 10 minutes, every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
.706 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Good morning to your friends. Hope you are doing well, and welcome on in to a Wednesday, March 18th of 2026. It is Wednesdays with Wilson, one of my favorite times of the week. Hey, Brian, how are you?
Good morning to you, Dan, and good morning to Joan and everybody. It's good to be with you this morning.
All right, very good. So let's get right to it because there's a lot of content to talk about.
We got all kinds of content.
We do. Let's start with the Senate bringing up now the SAVE Act. It's the it is going to be a long debate, and I've got some audio that I'm going to play. And do you think? I mean, they don't have the numbers. It's not going to pass.
This is the problem with this particular thing. Now, you would think when 85% of Americans want something, that politicians, being alert, cunning, and sly, would pick up on that, but they haven't yet. You don't have the votes to pass the SAVE Act in the Senate. It's not there. And there are, I think, a lot of Democrats who have real concerns about this and a few Republicans, and that makes it very difficult to pass. There's no consensus about going down the pathway of what they call the nuclear option, which is, do something about the filibuster, blow up the filibuster, get rid of the filibuster. There are Democrats and Republicans, both sides of the aisle, who don't want to blow up the filibuster. They see a value in it. And as somebody who covered the institution for many years, I sort of, like the filibuster. I think it is the right thing to do. But I think that what you got to do is force people to have a talking filibuster instead of just threaten filibusters, which is generally what happens. And the last thing about it is, though, there is no consensus to have a talking filibuster. So they don't have consensus for anything in the United States Senate. They are divided, and I just think it's right now, it's as much as I want to see the SAVE Act pass, this is just a big waste of time.
Well, I think John Thune is under a lot of pressure. He's going to call for cloture, I guess, which means he's just going to stop debate. And
Right.
So I don't know. It feels like he's acquiescing to the demands, but here's what I don't like. I don't like John Thune and some of these other folks, talking about, hey, great, we're going to have a vote, we're going to have a debate. And everybody knows this is a dog and pony show. It's not going to pass. Don't waste time.
Yeah,
and be honest about it.
Yeah. Listen, the only thing I can see that this does is it puts people on the record. In other words,
Yes.
If there is a great popular swell, as I would say there is, to do something with the SAVE Act, to get it passed, you got to find the votes for it. But, the way you do that is, okay, identify where the votes are. A lot of people don't really want to take this vote. They don't really want to have to tell people where they are on this. But once you identify who's against it, then you can work perhaps in a more effective way to bring them around, help them understand, how passionately the American public feels about this thing. But look, this is the way it stands right now. I don't see anything happening, and anybody who thinks that this is going to end with a vote to pass the SAVE Act and get it to the president's desk. Right now, I don't see it happening.
Well, here's the thing, Brian. So you mentioned the polling on the on credible elections, right? Everybody wants free and fair elections.
Right.
But also included in this bill is no trans surgery or procedures for kids, and also no men playing on women's sports teams. So they're basically getting the Democrats on the record as
on the record, and there is some value in that.
Heading into the
wrong.
midterm elections, and if that's what they want to do, then I am all for it. I just think, my 2 cents on this whole thing is you have a lot of Republicans and conservatives who are out there saying, we're going to get this passed. It's just, hate to tell you, it's just not going to pass. Don't be silly. All right, next, J.D. Vance is the new. Fraud czar. I love this. And I like the coordination where you have the president on the day that Nick Shirley is in California exposing more fraud. J.D. Vance is announced as the fraud czar. I think this is a great move by the president. Even if they're only going to be saving, I'm going to put this in air quotes, a few $100 million. The point is that all of this is taking place under Democrat governors.
Yeah, listen, it seems to me that, you got to be careful what you ask for. Remember, it was Biden who made Kamala Harris the border czar, and then she didn't do anything about the border, and it became sort of the laughing stock. When are you going to go to the border czar? That kind of thing. So, but with J.D. Vance, here's the thing. People want to see fraud, waste, and abuse done away with. And if he's very visible about it, if he goes out there and does things like Nick Shirley is doing in California, Colorado, and some of these other places, I'm guaranteeing you, we're going to find that the level of corruption, fraud, waste, and abuse is much larger than we anticipated. And I think there are hundreds and millions and perhaps billions of dollars that can be saved, and that's a good thing. Every dollar that's saved, every bit of fraud that is ferreted out, bodes well for a stronger United States. So he can really run with this thing and do something with it. The problem comes is if people don't perceive that anything has really changed. At the end of let's say, the midterm elections, you would like to have a level of accomplishment with some of the things that you've been able to do to ferret out waste, fraud, and abuse. So you got to deliver. That's the thing. Kamala didn't deliver, and I don't think they really wanted her to deliver, but one way or the other, she never did, and it became a laughing stock. You can't do that. It also points to the fact, Dan, that, vice presidents, what is the old saying about the office of the vice president worth a pitcher of spit? It's not worth much. And J.D. Vance is looking around and he's seeing Marco Rubio there, man. He's setting the world on fire, and I'm just sitting there twiddling my thumbs. Give me something to do. I think he'll run with it. I think it'll be a good thing.
I thought it was interesting. Just a brief side note. And you and I probably spoke about this at the time, but you mentioned Kamala Harris border czar, and it was almost like, and I said this at the time, but Joe Biden set up Kamala Harris to fail because he made her the border czar knowing full right well that he was going to essentially open the border and we were going to have the mass migration or illegal immigration problems that we had. Then they tried to say, well, she was never officially the border czar. There was such a bizarre thing that happened.
Well, they were so incompetent that it was the gang that couldn't shoot straight. Why would you do that to your vice president when there was a possibility that the vice president might be the person running for the office of presidency in the next election? I don't know, because they really didn't have any desire to do something about the border. So it was one of those things. I think it really was one of those things. Well, we're getting a lot of flack about the border, so we got to look like we're doing something. It's sort of that blue ribbon panel thing. Well, give that to the vice president.
Yeah.
She doesn't have anything to do. And it really just took it off. It really was supposed to take the heat off, but in this particular case, it became the rallying cry. When are you going to the border? She couldn't pop her head up and do any interview without that question being asked. So, if you get a job like that, you've got to deliver. And I don't think they really wanted to deliver on immigration, but I think there's real meat here for J.D. Vance, and he can really do something with this. If I were vice president, I would say, man, give me that.
Yeah.
I'll go out there and I'll go after the waste, fraud, and abuse, and people will love it.
Well, and J.D. Vance has already been to Minnesota, so he's already made that trip. All right, more with Brian Wilson coming up next. It is 7:15. Time to check the roads on WTN. As far as your weather, mostly cloudy and breezy today and a high of 58. Brian Wilson joining us on Nashville's Morning News. All right, big news yesterday and, of course, this morning as well. The resignation of Donald Trump's head of counterterrorism, Joe Kent. And word is he was a leaker. He's also saying that Donald Trump is being led by the nose with Israel and by Israel. And he says that Iran is not an imminent threat. And so he basically, I think that what he did, Brian, is you can't fire me, I quit. And he decided to, burn the place down when he's walking out the door.
Yeah, walking out the door and saying some ugly things as you do so. Look, apparently the word that's getting out is that he wasn't in the loop. He had been cut out of the loop. He was ineffective because they didn't trust him anymore because they felt like he was a leaker. And I go, well, is he a leaker? I don't know. I mean, of course, I don't know the guy from Adam, but I will say this, that the way the news media are reacting suggests to me that they've lost what they considered to be a source that they could go to deep within the Trump administration who was going to tell them things that they wanted to hear that were critical of Trump. So, they're whining and moaning about this in a big way, which suggests to me that he probably was somebody that they had turned to. You never know for sure about sources, but it has that feel to it to me.
Well, yeah, and Donald Trump posted overnight, Donald Trump posted a tweet that he had sent out back in 2020, basically imploring Donald Trump to go into Iran. Yeah. So, and they're saying that he had changed his mind over the last couple of weeks. You're right. We may never really know the truth. Donald Trump had ordered Tulsi Gabbard to fire him, and she had not done it yet. Now people are saying that Tulsi may be on her way out. So we'll see where that whole thing goes. Brian Wilson joining us. The Strait of Hormuz is still closed or restricted, and Donald Trump is not getting any help from Europe.
Well, one of the things that you got to say is, let's look at the good and the bad here. In the last few days, the Iranian intelligence leader has been killed, and so has the security leader of that country been killed. So, they continue to degrade leadership. I think that they are in turmoil more than we know. But the Strait of Hormuz is still a difficult thing. And he turns to NATO and he says, hey, NATO, buddy, remember how we're always there for you? Yeah. Remember how we help you out when you need. Well, we could use a little help in the Strait of Hormuz, and nobody bit. And it hacked Donald Trump off, and it hacks me off too. We basically support NATO. NATO is nothing without the United States and its military backing it up. Everything else pales in comparison. And the only way that NATO has any power or any authority or any respect in the world is because it's backed up by the U.S. military. Mm-hmm. And when you turn to your friends and your allies and you say, look, we're in this, this is all for the greater good of the world. If we shut down Iran, we could use a little help out here in the Strait of Hormuz, and you say no, I can understand why Donald Trump is upset. We have to be prepared to go it alone. And I think this really hurts the Trump with NATO. I don't think he's going to be very happy with NATO allies. They were there a day late and $1 short, and he's extremely upset. And I am too with our British counterparts who just have not been there for us on this at all.
Did you hear what Donald Trump said about Keir Starmer?
No, I didn't.
Oh, my goodness
there are
gracious.
a lot of things I would imagine.
He turned to a statue of a bust of Keir Starmer of Winston Churchill.
Winston Churchill said, "Well, he's certainly no Winston Churchill." Yeah, that, and boy, I think that is true. There's no bold, leadership there.
No.
In the UK, a bunch of timid little mice. Look, you can say what you will about it, and I know not everybody's on board with what's happening there, but in the grand scheme of things, yeah, we got a situation where gasoline in Nashville on average costs $3.66 a gallon, and I get that, and that's where you live, and that's hard for a lot of people to absorb. But in the grand scheme of things, I think if we can just power through this. I don't think the gas prices are going to be up that high very long. Right. And at the end of the day, we will have a safer world if we can put the Iranians at bay. And it seems like we're doing that very effectively. I just hope that, when they get through with the bombing, I just hope that the Iranian people still have the wherewithal to do something about the security apparatus inside Iran and can change the situation there and bring on leadership that would be more open to change than we've seen there in Iran.
Well, they're going to have to be. And Israel has come out and we've basically said as well, if we got to, Donald Trump said yesterday, he's not afraid of boots on the ground. And so one of the things that Israel has said, and I'm sure that Donald Trump has said this as well, is we got to put boots on the ground and hunt these guys down one by one, take out their leadership. Then that's what they're going to do.
Well, I don't think that he's against. If he felt like there was a good reason for it, I think he would do that. I don't think he really wants to do that. I don't think he wants to put boots on the ground, but he wants the Iranians to think, I'm willing to do it.
Right.
Because he wants them to come around. So, he has to lay that threat out there and he has to say it's a possibility. But I think that's more of a negotiating point. Maybe Karg Island, which is sort of a more interesting target for them to occupy and would not be difficult, I would think, from a strategic standpoint to seize and take over. And then you control basically the country's wealth,
right?
Because that's the big oil depot. But beyond that, I just don't think he wants to have widespread boots on the ground. That's my sense of it. But he has to let them think he's willing to do that.
Yeah, and it's all the art of the deal, right? And this is what we love about Donald Trump. It is interesting. We should take over Karg Island. We should do everything we can to control their oil in the short term to force all of those guys out. I mean, it just seems like that would be the answer. You take over their wealth. That's what they are there for. Then you say to these guys, okay, so we can do this the easy way or the hard way. The easy way is you get out, you go live in Russia or whatever, and we've got it from here. Or we can do it the hard way, and we will find you and we will kill you. And it's certainly clear that Israel and the United States have become very adept at killing these leaders in Iran.
The intelligence that they have seems to be really, really, really good, doesn't it? It really is. But, here's the thing. We need to get this wrapped up. We need to get the gas prices down. We got to do whatever we're going to do in Cuba, which I think is next on the horizon and sounds like it's coming together. I mean, it sounds like the Cubans are walking into our open, loving arms, and that's going to be great. But get that all done so you can have a period of prosperity as these, the big, beautiful bill, all the results of that start to kick in and the economy starts to churn, and maybe we'll get the interest rates to come down a notch or two. We're just poised to do big things, but we got to get the gas prices down. We got to wrap this up. Do whatever we're going to do with Cuba, and then sit back and have a period of relative quiet and peace and prosperity leading up to the midterm elections. That's our best hope for a good outcome there.
All right, Brian Wilson, always great having you on Wednesdays and when news breaks. Have a great rest of week, and we'll talk to you soon.
And thanks again to the Nashville Wellness Institute of Nashville for their support of my appearances here. Greatly appreciated always.
As always. All right, thank you, Brian. We'll talk to you next time. It is 7:25, Super Talk 99.7. Joan has the news. And Joan, what is coming up at 7:30?
Yeah, got another Iranian leader dead. This one may be personal for President Trump. We'll tell you why. Also, President Trump makes a visit to Tennessee next week. We've got those stories and more at 7:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
All right, who do I have to talk to get Donald Trump on Nashville's Morning News?
I think you just may have to go to Memphis while he's there.
Oh, I'm
simple.
Nope.
Hey, they've seized over 1,100 handguns, Dan.
In Memphis?
Yeah.
All right. So, well, clearly we know that Memphis is definitely safer. And it'll be really safe with Donald Trump there. So, yeah, I've been, so behind the scenes, I've been trying for years to get Donald Trump on my radio show. And I'm just a very small fish in a decently sized pond that is Nashville. But I don't think I'm ever going to be able to get him on. But you know what? That's okay. And I agree with Brian. He is doing some great things. And he's coming to Memphis just to talk about the successes of fighting the crime there, with all of the joining of the local forces and the federal forces and everybody cooperating. And now we've gotten all those guns, and we've found all of those missing kids, and murders are down and crime is down. I think Memphis is, and they did a really good job here in Tennessee of partnering with the Trump administration to make Memphis great. I'm sure at some point it was great. So make Memphis great again. And also, you know what that led to was our state legislature working with the Trump administration on those immigration laws that we've been talking about how we want to make Tennessee really the example for the nation as to how a state should deal with illegal immigration through state legislatures, so that we serve as an example for the rest of the country on how to demagnetize a state. So clearly, the state of Tennessee has a great relationship with the Trump administration. All right, I went way long on that. Sorry about that. 727, Nashville's Morning News. Joan,
You talk for a living.
I should just say what's happening in the news and just shut the heck up. Anyway, it is 727. The Wellness Institute of Nashville. Now, I have been a client of theirs for years and years, 12 years, as a matter of fact. Now, when I arrived in Nashville, I was riddled with chronic back and neck pain. They helped me because this is a great place. They can help you as well. They are experts in non-surgical spinal decompression. If you've got back or neck pain, sciatica, slipped or bulging spinal discs, herniated discs, spinal stenosis, numbness or weakness in the arms and legs, fingers or toes, well, they can help you, again, with non-surgical spinal decompression. And right now, 47% off when you use my name, when you call the Wellness Institute of Nashville. You can find them online, painisbad.com. That is painisbad.com. The phone number is 615-246-5009. 615-246-5009. They can help you with any number of things. And they also have a lot of terrific technology at the Wellness Institute of Nashville. Robotic lasers, anti-gravity machines, cryo machines, stem cell stimulation machines, all at the Wellness Institute of Nashville. Painisbad.com.
Good morning. It's now 7:32, and I'm Joan Jones with your top stories news from the Iranian conflict this morning. We're hearing that Iran's Minister of Intelligence, his name is Esmail Khatib, has been killed in targeted airstrikes. He is the man responsible for overseeing Iran's global terror apparatus, including sleeper cells around the world. He's the one also responsible for threatening President Trump. Also this morning, an Iranian missile has struck a military base housing U.S., British, and Australian troops in the United Arab Emirates. Now, it doesn't appear that there are any injuries, only minor damage to a building. President Trump will travel to Memphis next week to highlight the success of his crime crackdown program.
The White House confirmed the visit will focus on what it says are the achievements of the Memphis Safe Task Force. That group includes federal and state officials working in tandem to address crime in Memphis.
The achievements, Channel 4's Marius Payton, since the task force arrival in Memphis: 7,240 arrests and 1,188 firearms seized. A hearing held yesterday in federal court in Nashville over whether ICE agents acted lawfully when they detained a Spanish-language TV reporter. Stephanie Rodriguez was taken into custody March 4th. She is from Colombia in the U.S. on a tourist visa from 2021. She has overstayed that visa and now is in custody. A judge granted her a $10,000 bond. The government, however, appealed that decision. That is the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
Thank you, Joan. 7:35, Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7. I don't know if this is breaking news or not. Have you seen the breaking news about Russia?
Ooh, no.
I'll tell you in just a few minutes.
Okay.
Window Nation. All right, so I have Window Nation windows in my home. I've got 4 Window Nation windows in my home, 2 in my all-important basement studio. And if your heat or your AC is running more than it should, no matter the weather, you've probably got bad windows. You've probably got old windows. Your window insulation is failing. Well, right now at Window Nation, the more windows you buy, the more savings you could enjoy, because right now up to 50% off all window styles from Window Nation. I'm going to repeat that great deal. Up to 50% off all window styles. And they've got a ton, by the way. So be sure to ask also about Window Nation's financing options, including $0 down and payments as little as $199 a month. Now, there's a lot of reasons why I trusted Window Nation when I hired them to come into my home. There is that A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, 96% customer satisfaction rating, and over 45,000 5-star reviews. All, again, great reasons to trust Window Nation. Find them online, mention my name, windownation.com. That's windownation.com.
Okay, watch it this morning on 40 West past Alexandria exit 254. Still working a crash scene. 24 West in Antioch. There's a crash on the right shoulder at Haywood Lane. Goodlettsville, Louisville Highway southbound side between Pole Hill Road and I-65. Stop and go because of an accident. And you've got a crash in Antioch as well on Hobson Pike at Hamilton Church Road. Just one more in Brentwood. This is 65 northbound side at Old Hickory Boulevard South. There is a crash reported there too. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
All right, so I'm calling BS on this. I don't know. Joan?
What is it?
Listen to this. You can keep the music going. That's fine. I could talk over music. I was a DJ, a very bad DJ, which is why I decided to become a very bad talk show host. Anyway, nicely done. Very well done. Thank you, Sam. NBC News has a poll out.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
No. I'm not buying this.
Okay.
So it's my buddy Harry Enton. And they say MAGA GOP view of Donald Trump. 100% approve and 0% disapprove. Now, how are they differentiating between like what I got to air quote this MAGA is and what MAGA GOP is and versus like regular GOP? Do you know what I mean? Like I don't even really understand what the question is.
Well, the whole thing is designed to trigger the liberal viewers into going, oh my God, they're just blindly supporting Trump.
It's a cult. It's a cult.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, and this is Harry. I saw this and I thought,
Alex, it's time for your hormone shots.
oh gosh. You know what? I'm going to ask Amy permission. Riker did something when we were in line to see Dolly Parton. I'm going to ask Amy if I can tell this joke. He said something that was the funniest thing. Oh my God! I hope she lets me do this.
Aren't 12-year-old boys just like the funniest?
Can
At least they think they are.
Well, because I don't want to do this. I don't want to say what Riker said,
without permission.
Without permission. I'm going to text Amy right now. Can I tell people what Riker said in line for Dollywood?
For those of you listening on the radio, that is Dan typing as he's reading it out
loud. Purple hair. She'll know what that means.
I like where this is going already.
I don't know. I hope she, because, oh my God, it was so funny. Anyway, so I don't even know where I was. Anyway, yeah, they're talking about how it's a cult, obviously. So there's that. Oh, doggone it, Amy. You know what he said.
You know the thing. He said the thing.
The thing that he said.
The thing, man.
Because it was very funny. So he's got a really good sense of humor for a 12-year-old, and I think he listens to his parents and me and his mom in the house. Anyway, so while I eagerly await an answer from my lovely missus, the other story is that, and I don't know why this is considered breaking news, but apparently CNN is reporting this breaking news that Russia is providing some satellite info and drone for Iran.
Yeah.
We've been talking about that for like a week, haven't we, Joan? I know I said that a few days ago.
I do not remember hearing that said.
Well, I said it. You clearly weren't listening. I think what I probably said.
That happens sometimes.
Oh, I know it does.
Yeah.
I know it does. There would be times, so just a little behind the scenes fun around here. There would be times when I'm clearly engaging with Joan.
And I'm out.
And you are
checked out.
You are completely checked out.
Because I'm listening to audio that I'm going to edit and put on the air later on. So sometimes I can't listen to both.
So, Yeah, but I went back and I looked at one particular conversation. You clearly were not listening to audio. You were looking down on your phone.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sitting there waiting
yeah.
for a reaction, and you could see me literally like shifting in my chair, waiting for Joan to speak.
What the heck?
Yes. And you were nowhere to be found, and I just had, okay, fine, I'll just do it myself. Whatever. Anyway, so, yes, breaking news from CNN. They're saying that Russia is helping Iran with satellite technology, right, and drone technology as well. So,
John, that's the first you're hearing of it?
Yes.
I didn't know that. I just, you're telling me now for the first time.
They're telling me now for the first time. There's also a separate story. I find this pretty interesting because I looked, as soon as you said Russia, I looked it up. There is a sanctioned Russian tanker loaded with liquid natural gas, and it's drifting out of control in the Mediterranean. This is from the BBC, with no crew on board and a gaping hole in one side, prompting warnings of serious risk of a major ecological disaster. They say this thing could blow at any moment, and it's drifting out of control in the Mediterranean.
In the Mediterranean. So where is it drifting towards?
An official in Italy, one of the 90 EU countries to write a joint letter, has called on Arctic the environmental bomb.
Oh, look at this. Randy says Dan is right. The Russia thing is old news. 2164. I heard Dan say it.
It's floating south away from Italian waters and the island of Lampedusa toward Libya.
Lampedusa?
Yes, I didn't know there was such an island.
Penicillin will take care of that.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's just another story about Russia that I just stumbled upon.
You know what? It seems like
Crazy.
Russia has their own problems. They need to stay out of ours.
So there's just
Be nice.
a crewless...
They call them ghost ships.
Yeah, but there's a hole in the side of it?
It was struck by a drone.
Whose drone?
Let's see what the Financial Times has to say.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, the more we learn, the more questions there are.
Yeah.
To me, I was thinking like alien, crash on Earth, break out of the ship.
Ukraine has said it has not commented on reports that it was responsible for hitting that with a drone.
Because Ukraine's never responsible for
No.
anything.
Well, I mean, would Ukraine know what's on the boat?
That's a good question. It's
I
a
don't know,
pretty ugly
whatever.
boat. It's a bright green
If
color.
they're using NATO intelligence equipment, possibly.
I think I could interpret what Joan just said as it's a pretty ugly boat, so it's okay to bomb ugly boats. Is that what you're saying,
I'm not
Joan?
saying that. I'm saying that sometimes they'll use ugly old boats like this, show what they're carrying because it's bright green and it's very black in parts.
Yes.
So it's either it's been around the block a few times.
Got it. 7:45. Time to check the roads on WTN. As far as weather goes, mostly cloudy, breezy, and a high of 58. By the way, I mentioned during the segment with Brian Wilson where Donald Trump gazed at the bust of Winston Churchill in his office and said, Keir Starmer is no Winston Churchill.
You see that man right there? You know who that is?
Churchill.
That's the late, great Winston Churchill. And Barack Hussein Obama did not want his bust in this office. Did you know that? And Barack Hussein Obama sent that bust back to England. They didn't want it. And when I came in, I was asked if I wanted it. I said, absolutely, I want it. And I put it right there, Winston Churchill. And, unfortunately, Keir is not Winston Churchill.
No, he is certainly not Winston Churchill.
Just opened the gas can for the media.
Well, I mean, you listen to those things, and I've spoken to Brian Wilson about it. He's been one of those screaming at a president reporters, and they just, I think, number one, they're not used to having such access to a president based on what they felt or experienced with Joe Biden. That's number one. And number two, you're absolutely right. The way that you phrase that, Sam, you're right. He's bomb throwing. He's bomb throwing in Iran, and he's bomb throwing in the Oval Office. And I love it. I mean, personally, I love it. The media loves it too, because he is helping them to become relevant again. By the way, the other thing that I saw on CNN, speaking of fake news, this is a headline that they're running on CNN. Dem Senator Epstein files possibly a contributing factor in the Iranian war.
Come on, man.
I think that's so stupid. Like, I guess there's Republicans or conservative, whatever. There's people on our side that would make the same accusation that this is all just to distract from the Epstein files. Can I ask a question? How many millions of files and photographs and documents have been released via, the Trump administration with these Epstein files? I mean, they've released millions and millions of them. So if Donald Trump, and I said this before, if Donald Trump is trying to cover up the Epstein files, he's doing a terrible job. So I don't know. For me, whatever.
I think the narrative is that Bibi Netanyahu is going to dox Donald Trump's, true nature of being in the files if he doesn't show out and support Israel in this conflict with Iran. It's like, no, they have been saying for decades, death to America. That the infidels must all die, and America is the great evil on this earth in their minds. So miss me with your nonsense.
Yeah, I believe that there are people, and I ain't judging, but there are people that their entire political and personal perspective begins and ends with the Epstein files. Like, they're just obsessed with the Epstein files, and that's fine. You do you. I'm not judging. What happened to those girls and the perpetrators? The perps need to be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. They have to have their time in court, and if they're found guilty, then they need to suffer the consequences. I've said that for years and years. The victims of Epstein and all that went on, they deserve all the respect and sympathy that they get. But there's other things that are going on, and you can try to figure out what the hell happened with the Epstein files, and yes, bomb the hell out of a country that says that they've got enough material for 11 nuclear bombs, right? We can do a couple of different things. So whatever. I mean, this is what the Democrats are going to do. That is, as you said, Sam, this is part of their narrative where they are going to hang on to the Epstein. By the way, of course, as everyone knows, had no caring about the Epstein files for years. Then all of a sudden they went down this road of Donald Trump's in the Epstein files, and now it is the hill that they are going to die on. So whatever. I mean, if that's what the Democrats want to do to keep the Epstein story alive, then they can knock themselves out. It is 7:51 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Joan has the news coming up at 8. Joan.
Yeah, stock futures just turned negative this morning because of a report that just came out about prices in the U.S. We'll bring it to you coming up here at 8 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Low T Center is the original TRT clinic, and they've helped thousands of men across Tennessee and America get their lives back with high-quality testosterone therapy. Low T Center has set the standard that other clinics are still trying to measure up to. Now, Low T Center has been highlighted for having the highest quality testosterone on the market. They use only pharmaceutical-grade testosterone, never compounded, so you know exactly what is going into your body. At Low T Center, all providers are board certified and experts in their field. They know the right questions to ask, the right things to look for in your charts, and the right tests to run to keep your TRT smooth and manage whatever side effects there may be. Now, Low T Center, they also have a variety of peptides to help with healing, muscle tone, recovery, sleep, weight loss, and even hair and skin quality. So head on over to Low T Center and check out their peptide therapy programs. And right now, you mentioned WTN, you can get $50 off per vial for select peptides and GLP-1s. They've also got some specials going on for March. They've got a free T-test for men, and hormone testing for women is just $99. That is a huge savings of about $200. And by the way, also at Low T Center, they're also offering discounts on GLP-1 weight loss medications. Head on over to lowtcenter.com. That is lowtcenter.com, and book your TRT appointment today. All right, so I have permission from the Home Office, Joan.
Nice.
So we are in, I had to get permission from Amy to tell you this Riker story. So we are surrounded by people at Dollywood, and we are waiting for, Dolly to come by in the big parade. And they give us these blue pom-poms. And, they're pom-poms, like cheerleaders would wear. And so, you know what he does? He puts the pom-pom on his head. And he says, "Oh, look, a Kamala supporter." And
that is awesome.
Now realize we're surrounded by people that actually literally have blue hair and the whole thing. I mean, it's Dollywood, whatever. And so I think it was both Amy and I that just sort of like, those are car or home conversations, okay? Just, you don't always have to say those things out loud. But it was very funny. And then we both said we should probably watch what we say around the house. But there's a lot of truth to it. I have not seen. Have you ever seen? And I have. I've been called to the carpet a few times because I'll make a joke about like a purple-haired Kamala person got the thing in the nose, the ear, the nose rings, the whole thing. People come up to me like on the street, or like this happened one time at Target. A woman came up to me. She had like pink hair and a thing in her nose. And she said, "Hey, Dan, I'm a big fan. And I'm also a Trump supporter. And look, I've got the nose ring." And I felt like 2 feet tall, which I actually kind of am, but whatever. But anyways, it was actually kind of funny. So anyway, that is the Riker story. Kids say the darndest things, and then you put your hand over their mouth.
Yeah.
Like moving right along. I think I actually said to Riker, moving right along.
You just got to let them know. It ain't your color.
Okay, good. It's 8 o'clock on Super Talk, 99.7 WTN.
Hello there, it's 8 o'clock. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. Debate underway on the Senate floor on the Save America Act. It requires proof of citizenship to register to vote and photo ID at the polls. Now, Tennessee U.S. Senator Marsha Blackburn talked to Matt Murphy yesterday, says that she's going to put a lot of pressure on those senators who balk at it.
That is something that over the next few days, we're going to be hammering this on the floor to make certain that people all across the country are aware.
Multiple polls show that 83% of Americans support requiring photo ID to vote, but at least 4 Republicans have already come out against it. Mitch McConnell, Tom Tillis, Lisa Murkowski, and Susan Collins. Several top U.S. intelligence officials, including Tulsi Gabbard, Kash Patel, and others, are facing the hot seat on Capitol Hill this morning for a 2-day hearing on worldwide threats. Expected to come up in that discussion, of course, the ongoing conflict in Iran.
We know Democrats on the Senate Intelligence Committee are likely to have pressing questions on the bombing of that girls' school in Minab, Iran, and if the U.S. was culpable and what, if any, role U.S. intelligence played. I'm also told senators will have questions on the possibility for Iranian reprisals on the U.S., including possible cyber attacks. Expect FBI Director Kash Patel to be questioned on that.
ABC's Jay O'Brien there. The Tennessee Republican Party leadership has just removed 40 Republican candidates from the August primary ballot, saying they're not bona fide members of the Republican Party. The Tennessean reports one of them is former top House aide Cade Cothran, who was convicted last year in a public corruption trial. The owners of a Murfreesboro restaurant apparently sick of people lying about their kids' age. A new sign on the window at Yoki Buffet says, if your kid is taller than 4'3", you'll have to show a birth certificate or passport to take advantage of the Kids 10 and Under Eat Free deal. A lot of people pointing out the fact that it's okay to ask for ID to eat at a buffet, but not for
what's
voting.
happening? What's happening?
Yoki Buffet in Murfreesboro. They have a deal that says your kids 10 and under can eat free.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently a lot of people have been lying to take advantage of that. So now they have a sign up in the window that says, if your kid is above 4'3", then you're going to have to prove that they are actually 10
So you're going to have
under,
to bring in like a birth certificate?
or a passport to prove that they're under 10.
And this place is called what?
Yoki Buffet.
Yoki Buffet.
Correct.
And where is it?
Murfreesboro. In DeBurrow.
Okay. I've never been there. I don't eat in the borough much.
But it's
I
kind
don't
of-
live there, but that's pretty funny, actually.
Yeah, they say now, people are saying that, this place proves that you have to show your ID for simple things.
Yes.
And voting, no,
Mhm.
that's not important, Democrats.
No, no, not at all.
So-
By the way, I've got some great audio coming up about that coming up after your newscast.
Nice. Okay, good. Market numbers report here brought to you by Beacon Capital Management online at beaconcm.com. So the producer price index just released this morning shows wholesale prices rose sharply in February. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reporting a 0.7% increase in wholesale prices, and core costs rose 0.5%. So economists were looking for both of those numbers to be just 0.3%. Well, that really turned things around on the futures market. Stock futures are now negative. Dow futures down 252 points as we get closer to the opening bell. That is the latest news, traffic, and weather next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News. So we have an accident on 24 westbound jamming things up this morning in Laurel Hill. It's just before Bell Road. The accident is on the right shoulder. It apparently involves 3 vehicles. You got an accident as well. Louisville Highway, southbound side between Cartwright Circle North and I-65. Things are a mess there as well. 24 eastbound in Clarksville, past Rossview Road. It's a truck on fire and the right shoulder is blocked off by it. A lot of folks watching what's going on there as well. Smith Springs Road in Nashboro Village, west of Bell Road. There's an accident there involving injuries. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
#807 Super Talk 99.7 WTN. So you see that, Joan, we've now dropped the 5,000-pound bunker buster bombs.
Yeah, I heard this.
Can you imagine getting just dissolved by one of those things if you're one of these Iranian leaders? I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at the demise, at the dissolving of more Iranian leaders, but I just,
I think it's mercy in a way.
Well, they get to go meet the virgins quickly.
Yeah. That.
Can you imagine if they go to like wherever they're supposed to go and all of those virgins are like, like trans dudes?
It never specifies. It just says
never
virgins.
does. I mean, I've never read the Quran, but I mean, that would be kind of funny though, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that be like the ultimate justice?
Oh, it'd be hilarious.
Here's your virgin, John.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wait, what did I step in something? What did I say?
I mean,
you two were like awkwardly quiet.
Just went for a very English name there.
Oh, I don't know. Well, you know what? I was going to say Sam, and I just figured you might not like that.
No.
Because Sam can be both a boy and a girl name.
Yeah.
Right?
Somewhat.
No, we got a Sam here that's a girl.
Yes, but she goes by Sammy.
I call her Sam. Whatever. Anyway, all right. So 5,000-pound bunker busters are now being used. And I think it is clear that we are winning this war. I mean, like it or not, people, we are winning this war. And the media, I have found it interesting that the media has been trying to sell that the war or the excursion, whatever you want to call it, is it a stalemate? This thing is not at a stalemate.
Yeah, I keep seeing those things from different news outlets that say, Iran fired this missile, which proves that they still have something left in their, artillery.
Well, yeah, they had thousands of them, but the number
they're shooting them out indiscriminately.
Yeah, I was going to say
all over the place.
The number of those, the number of their firing of the missiles is going down exponentially. I mean, it went down. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but in the first couple of days, they were just missile happy. And then, as the war went on, the number of attacks, the retaliatory attacks from Iran, it went down and it's going down and it's going down because they're trying to save their ammo. And they do still have, and we've done the story, people, where Iran, they've got like thousands of drones. And so, and Russia and China probably are helping them as well. So they are getting replenished, whether or not it's being reported or not. But, they've got plenty of ammo, Iran does. And, we're doing everything we can to, how big is Iran? Like, it's big. I mean,
90 million people.
90 million people.
A lot of people.
But if Iran were a state, like, is it as big as Texas? I don't think it's as big as Texas, but I feel like it might be.
Roughly equivalent to the size of Alaska.
Okay. Well,
pretty big.
Yeah. And they got a lot of stuff underground, hence the bunker busters. But, what
17th largest nation in the world.
Okay. So one of the things that I would say is part of what's going on, and the Red Eye guys actually were talking about this, is that here in 2026, we are judging this war like by the day and sometimes by the hour. So we're not going to know. We're not going to know the impact of this and we've all said this, we're not going to know the impact of this excursion, as Donald Trump calls it, for like years. There's the short-term impact, and then there's going to be the long-term impact. But for the media to say that we're losing the war or that the war is at a stalemate, I think it was CNN that said that, is just silly.
Yeah.
Because we've destroyed their entire Navy. We've taken out a lot of their missile capability. We've taken out a lot of their drones and
the leaders, and more leaders.
The current leader has one less leg because of what we've been doing. No comment from either one of you two?
I'm looking at what CNN's saying this morning.
I was waiting for Joan to.
You know what his name?
Iran puts Trumpism to the test.
Do you know what the new leader of Iran is going to be named once he comes out of his coma? Ayatollah Stumpy. Okay.
Here we go.
I thought you were
starting again.
You know what? I thought that was going to be better.
I thought you were going to say I told them I was gay and legless. It took a sec.
Okay, now we're going all the way back to yesterday's commentary where the rumor has it that the new Ayatollah of Iran is gay. And we had this whole discussion for people who weren't listening that, you know, there's nothing wrong with being gay unless you're in Iran where they hang you from a crane or throw you from a building. Somehow this guy gets a pass because he was the old dead Ayatollah's son. And now he's legless and possibly gay.
And in a coma.
And in a coma. Legless and in a coma. Man, it really sucks to be him.
Well, the male goats are spared for the time being.
All right, moving right along.
Oh, my gosh.
You're kind of stuck on the whole goats thing, aren't you, Sam? All right, I want to change course very quickly. Just how popular is Marco Rubio? Now, we were talking about this a while ago, and like weeks ago, and just it came up during the segment with Brian Wilson about how Marco Rubio is seeing a huge surge in popularity. Now, this is Harry Enton, and they're talking about Marco Rubio 2028.
Marco Rubio is hot, 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 like a summer heat wave. I mean, just take a look here. Over the last 6 months, Chance Rubio's the 2028 GOP presidential nominee. He was just at 7% 6 months ago. Hello, up like a rocket, 27% chance now. What is that? That's quadrupling his chances in 4 months' time. Marco Rubio's chances, according to the Kalshi prediction markets, way, way up.
Okay. All right. So 6 months ago, Rubio had a 7% chance of being the GOP nominee. Now that is at 27. I think there's a lot going on. But number one, clearly we are way early. But the political audience, I mean, it is a fickle one. So they love you 1 minute, they hate you the next, and then they love you again. But that is impressive. You know, you've got all of the jobs that he has been doing, Marco Rubio. By the way, all right, so Joan and Sam, I want you to don't look at your computer. Joan, turn on your microphone. I know she's standing by for traffic.
No.
Or maybe she's not. Okay, then Sam, you're going to be in the hot seat.
Cool.
Let's do traffic, and then I'm going to quiz you. Do you know all of the jobs that Marco Rubio has done? Don't look at your computer. I want to know if you can know, because I couldn't. But I want to know if you folks at home or driving or Sam can name all of the things that Marco Rubio has done in the Trump administration. It is 8:15. Time to check the roads on WTN. As far as your weather, mostly cloudy, breezy, and a high of 58. All right, so, Sam, without looking at your computer, can you name 1, 2, 3, 4, the 4 roles that Marco Rubio has done since day one of the Trump administration? Go.
No, I can't.
You're not even going to try?
Because he does such a good job, I don't have to pay attention to him.
Okay.
He's one of those people that are like, okay, I have to stress over the Secretary of State because...
Is Joan back?
No.
Joan conveniently out getting some Wally Bean coffee. Wally's Bean Machine coffee.
Because she has 2 legs and can go get it.
So he has been, of course, obviously, National Security Advisor. Acting Archivist. Remember that one?
No.
Head of USAID. And National Security Advisor. So that is 4 positions that Marco Rubio has succeeded at. And so that's why, and Joan and I were talking about this earlier, where when she comes back, let me know, because she hasn't heard any of this. I want to see if she can name she can name Secretary of State. I want to know if she can name the other 3. But he's done a great job at all of them. So now he's become part of, Meme Nation, where there's all these photographs of Marco Rubio. Yesterday, for St. Patrick's Day, he was like the lead leprechaun. He was sitting on the couch, and he was in like a leprechaun Irish outfit thing. So Marco Rubio has now become part of pop culture. And I think that is why Marco Rubio is now seeing this surge in popularity because he has become part of pop culture. At least that's what I think. But in 4 months, his chances go from like 7%, actually more like 6 months, 7% to 27%. Now, obviously, that is huge. Here's more from Harry Enton.
Why?
Why are his chances way, way up? Well, one of the reasons why his chances are way, way up is because the MAGA base really likes the U.S. military action in Iran. Take a look here. Okay, MAGA GOP on the U.S. military action in Iran. Look at this. Nearly 9 in 10, 89% approve of the U.S. military action in Iran. That is the MAGA GOP base. Just 9% disapprove of it. This is tremendously popular among the Republican base. And of course, Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, overseeing the effort. It seems to me that a lot of people are taking that into account, including President Donald Trump, who has been smiling an awful lot at Marco Rubio lately.
So the funny thing is, so they have a photograph of Donald Trump and Marco Rubio, almost sort of like, and you can see it on Super Talk TV, they're almost looking at each other lovingly, if you will. Like, yeah, we got this. And I'm noticing, and obviously Trump has been ending conflicts all across the world, and Marco Rubio is a big part of that. So I think that is part of what's going on. Is Joan back? I'm waiting. I never care where Joan is. The one time I want to quiz Joan Jones, and I can't find her. But think about it this way. Donald Trump has been essentially grooming J.D. Vance, for lack of a better word, to become the GOP nominee in 2028. But Marco Rubio has done a really good job for Donald Trump as well. So now the question is, and certainly with the situation with Cuba, because Marco Rubio is directly dialoguing with Cuba. Because Cuba's, I mean, they've got the big, have they turned on the lights in Cuba yet? Are they still got the massive power outage in Cuba? So Cuba's got a lot of problems, obviously. And so Marco Rubio is working directly with Cuba to try to get them onto more of a path of being more of an ally for Donald Trump and the United States. So now the question is, who? J.D. Vance or Marco Rubio? Because if you look at where Marco Rubio is right now, I would give him a solid A+. But again, not to belabor the point, but I think J.D. Vance has also done a really good job. Hey, Joan.
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to give you a quiz. You're not allowed to look at your computer.
Okay.
You hear that, Sam?
Oh,
Yeah, because you're
I
able
hate
to.
when I can't look at the computer. Okay.
I know. And you're not allowed to look at your phone.
Scout's honor.
So can you name the 4 jobs that Marco Rubio has done since day one of the Trump administration? He's had 4 jobs. Now, Sam couldn't get one of them. He didn't even try. Sam didn't even mention Secretary of State.
I literally said Secretary of State.
Nah, you didn't.
Yeah,
You
I
said,
did.
no, I can't.
Okay.
All right. I got Secretary of State.
Sam is now
Good.
yesing the host like many men yes their wives. There's no other way to say it.
Well, Dan.
Joan, can you name the other 3 jobs that Marco Rubio has had?
You know, Dan, I this is embarrassing.
No, there's no need to be embarrassed because I couldn't either.
Yeah, okay, good.
Amy and I were talking about this last night. She quizzed me.
Wow.
And I couldn't name, I had Secretary of State, but then I kind of floundered for the other 3. So, no. He has been, go ahead.
Acting National Secretary, a security advisor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody, who's texting you?
Nobody.
I just wanted to fact check you.
Who, me?
Yeah.
On?
He's one of those people that are like, okay, I have to stress over the Secretary of State. There you go.
Well, the whole National Security Advisor thing, it opened up. Who was it that, was it?
Waltz.
Waltz.
Remember
right.
Waltz?
Mike Waltz.
Yeah.
So I remember that.
Yeah, he got bounced. And then Trump says, all right, Marco, you are now National Security Advisor. He was also acting archivist. Remember that?
Yes.
And the head of USAID.
Oh, man.
So there you go.
He's got a lot of jobs. He must have a big staff.
And we were
Oh my gosh. You guys. Holy guacamole. He's got to have a lot of people managing all of those things.
Anyway.
I can't believe you guys.
No, I didn't say anything.
Joan, you just went ahead and plopped that one out on the table.
So,
oh my goodness.
I think people would believe that Marco Rubio is well equipped to be president.
Oh, yes.
So,
I'm sure he's been given certain endowments.
Okay, we got to stop. I don't know what is with us the last couple of days, but anyway. So the great thing is we have at least two really good candidates to be.
Sam's choking in there. Like he's dying. He wants so badly to say more stuff. Obviously, witty comment.
Can it, Sam? Don't even go there. We can't push our luck because then they'll start listening to the tapes and find out what we said yesterday about the.
You'll have to sit in the air check room.
Yeah.
And listen to yourself.
That's like a skiff. We all have to go into the air check room and listen to the show. And then we all have to wonder, why do people listen to this?
And this is the moment Joan opened the door.
6199 says, Joan, we all feel your pain. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so.
All right, moving right along. 824 on Nashville's Morning News. All right, so bottom line is, all right, so Joan, real quick.
Yeah.
Who do you like better as far as a presidential candidate right now, based on everything that we just talked about? J.D. Vance or Marco Rubio?
You know, I really like J.D. Vance a lot, and I love his story, you know, his backstory, everything.
Yeah.
But I think that Marco Rubio has just...
He's rocked it.
He has rocked everything. He's really done a terrific job. And through it all, we've gotten to see him in a more presidential light. We get to see that speech he made. What was that speech recently that he made that I could spend 3 days watching it.
Oh, it was, he was in Europe.
Yes.
Remember? He was in Europe.
It was the UN? Was
UN?
It?
No, I don't remember. But it was a great speech.
It was very good. And we get to see that the man is funny. He's actually very funny. So he's got that sense of humor. He's grounded. He's brilliant.
I also think that he's got, and I've said this before, I believe that he has a better resume than J.D. Vance. He was in the Florida State House. He was the House Speaker. Then he became senator. He was on all of those really important committees when he was a senator. He was a senator for 20 years, something like that.
Was he that long? Wow.
I think so. Sam fact-checked me on that. And he's done a lot of really good things. And I'm not taking away from J.D. Vance. You know, vice president is nothing to shrug at. But and J.D. Vance was a senator for a while. I think how
Rubio
long?
served 14 years.
14 years. How long was J.D. Vance a senator? Help me. I don't even think he did one term. Did he do
2 years.
He was only 2 years.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Marco Rubio has the, what's the right word? He's got the prowess. Thank you, Sam. He's got the prowess. You know what else is going on? I don't have time to do it now. 8:35, I'm going to talk about a big article in The Hill talking about what is going on in Republican circles as it relates to Marco Rubio versus J.D. Vance. I've got that and a whole lot more. Straight ahead on Nashville's Morning News. Joan's got the news at 8:30. Joan.
Yeah, news is coming up. I don't even have a headline, Dan.
I'm sorry. What'd you say? What'd you say?
News is coming up.
News is coming
I don't even have a headline, but there's so much going on. How about in the news, we'll talk about the latest Iranian leader that has been killed in an airstrike by Israel.
Another one bites the dust.
Perfect. Keep on singing. That's coming up here at 8:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Joan says, keep on singing. Said no one at all.
Says no one.
I'm the one singing. Contours, heading to Contours actually today, as a matter of fact. Now, summer is just months away. The work to get that beach bod back, it does begin right now. My friends at Contours, they can help you get it back with FDA-cleared red light technology. Now, at Contours, they use that red light technology for body sculpting and also for facials as well. Now, as far as that beach bod, they're going to help you target those areas that you hate, whether it is your belly, your arms, or your legs. Whatever the problem area you might have, Contours can solve that problem, again, with FDA-cleared red light technology. Now, there's nothing harmful about this. There's nothing painful about it. There's no downtime at all. I mean, I usually fall asleep during my treatments at Contours. Now, real men and women from Franklin and across Middle Tennessee have been checking out Contours and, yes, seeing real results as well. Matt's doing it, I'm doing it, and you should do it as well. Let Contours help you get rid of those trouble spots. And right now, the first 10 callers get a special introductory price, $99. That's right, $99. And also remember, with Contours, you see results or it is free. First 10 callers right now, 615-236-9960, 615-236-9960. Find them online anytime, ContoursLLC.com. That's ContoursLLC.com. Contours, where all you've got to lose is inches. $8:29 on Super Talk 99.7. Dan Mandis here, and my place to shop for furniture and appliances is DT McCall's. I've bought both from DT McCall's, and they can help you as well. Now, at DT McCall's, they are always looking for ways to save you money. Check out their website right now. It is dtmccalls.com. If you need a washing machine, they've got the GE Energy Star Ultra Fast Combo right now, and with a rebate, you can save $800 courtesy of DT McCall's. Now, it is March, and that means that you might need a new barbecue coming up. They do have the best Louisiana grills at great prices for all budgets, and that is one of many things that I like about DT McCall's is that they've got appliances or furniture for any budget, any style as well. So if you've got a room to fill, they can help you with the best brands of sectionals for the living room, bedroom suites, and dining room furniture as well, all at great prices and customer service as well. Carthage, Cookville, Lebanon, Lafayette, and Franklin. Always tell them Dan Mandis told you to stop by. That website, dtmccalls.com.
Good morning. It's now 8:32. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. Chalk up another Iranian leader's death at the hands of Israel's precision strikes. Here's Trey Yingst on Fox News.
Israeli official telling Fox News that Ismail Khatib, Iran's intelligence minister, was killed in a precision strike overnight. Khatib was responsible for managing Iran's global cells, these sleeper cells in countries around the world that even threatened U.S. politicians and President Trump. This official says this man had blood on his hands, American blood.
Khatib was the only official to survive the opening round of strikes when Iran's supreme leader was killed. Montgomery Central High School teacher Matthew Vetter under investigation after showing a student a nude photo of himself on his cell phone. The school says it was a mistake, but the girl's parents tell Channel 4 this teacher has been a problem.
This cannot continue. He's already had multiple complaints on him from the school before. Children have been removed from his class into another class previously that we were unknown about.
To avoid confrontation with him.
Vetter is still working, but at another location while the investigation continues. And Venezuela defeated the United States in the World Baseball Classic. Team USA's Bryce Harper tying it up against Venezuela with a 2-run home run in the 8th inning. And then came the 9th and a run-scoring double by Venezuela.
Venezuela, U.S. batting last of the 9th. Palencia set. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss! Venezuela wins the WBC!
President Trump's response to all of this on his Truth Social account, he's posted in all caps one word: statehood. Market numbers brought to you by Beacon Capital Management, online at beaconcm.com. Stocks starting off negative after a report that showed inflation coming in hot last month. Dow Jones Industrials falling 172 here after the opening bell. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
Thank you, Joan. 8:35, Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN, the Wellness Institute of Nashville. Now, listen, I've been a client of theirs for many, many years, 12 years, as a matter of fact. I think they were one of my first clients. I was going there. I heard a commercial just like this one, and I did have that back and neck pain. I went to the Wellness Institute of Nashville and met Dr. Mitch, and they helped me with my chronic back and neck pain. Now, if you have chronic back or neck pain, sciatica, slipped or bulging spinal discs, herniated discs, spinal stenosis, numbness or weakness in the arms and legs, fingers or toes, they can help you. You've got to call this number, 615-246-5009, 615-246-5009, the Wellness Institute of Nashville, and Dr. Kevin Mitchell. Again, they can help you. They've got all kinds of amazing technology, and one of the things that they have is these robotic lasers. I don't know if you've seen those, but they're amazing. They've also got anti-gravity machines, cryo machines, stem cell stimulation machines, all at the Wellness Institute of Nashville. And right now, 47% off non-surgical spinal decompression when you mention WTN and my name. 615-246-5009. Their website is painisbad.com. That's painisbad.com.
Looks like things are moving well on most of the area roads this morning. Looks like 24 is doing okay. 65 running smoothly at this hour. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
All right, so it's 8:39. Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Time for the crisscross handoff, and I don't know, is this Bad Boys? Is that what this is? Bad Boys, what you gonna do?
No.
What you gonna?
It's funny you bring that up. I don't think this is Bad Boys, but Will Smith played last night in the World Baseball Classic.
What?
Did you see that?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Different Will Smith, white guy from the Dodgers.
Oh.
He's a catcher.
Yeah.
But I was talking to my wife. I was like, if I ever meet him, I'm going to be like, dude, loved you and I am legend. And then just keep it moving. Like, don't even react. Just drop a one-liner and then leave the conversation.
He's heard that
I was going to
before.
say, I'm sure that never gets old.
Aren't you the guy that slapped Chris Rock? Great game.
Aren't you
too.
the Fresh Prince? of
I
Bel-Air.
I don't know why he didn't lean into it. Like, his walk-up music should have been Getting Jiggy with it.
That was Burning Down the House by the Talking Heads.
Oh, got it. Okay. Am I supposed to know the meaning of why you played Burning Down the House?
Are you Talking Head? Are you a Talking Head?
I don't know.
Answer the question, Dan. Don't.
Well, it sounds like an insult.
Don't
Am I a
deflect
talking
it.
head. Well, yeah, I talk and I have a head.
Yeah.
Answer the
Well, that's what they call people who do talk shows, talking heads.
Yeah.
Okay, well then I guess I'm a talking head.
And you've been burning down the house today.
I have not been burning down the house today.
Houses have been burned.
I've been burning my career down today, as a matter of fact, but don't get me started on that.
Blame Joan.
Not my fault. I blame your silly, childish, teenage boy brains.
Yeah, but with men, you have to take stupid off the table, then you evaluate from that point forward.
No,
Many
you don't have
such
to take
cases.
stupid off the table.
You got to take stupid off the table.
Got to take it off the table.
I'm talking to three guys. Of course you're going to say
I
that.
got that advice from my mother-in-law. So
Anyway.
I'm not going to refute it.
Are you sure you weren't just overhearing advice she gave to your wife?
She said with men, you have to take stupid off the table. And then she looked over at me, and I'm like, I'll keep that into account for both myself and others.
Was it a glare or a glance?
It was a loving glance because I'm her favorite.
Did you get darts?
No. That woman bought me a drawer toolbox for Christmas. I will never get darts from her.
That's your mother-in-law?
Yeah. Nice one.
Is anybody here like big fans of theater? You like the theater? Joan, you like the theater?
Yeah.
You talking about
Somewhat.
movie theater or like Broadway theater?
Like theater, like performances.
Yeah, I do actually.
Okay. What would you be more inclined to go for one that was benefiting some sort of charity?
Depends on the charity, but yeah.
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah,
right? Who
yeah.
wouldn't want to go to theater and support
Sure.
a good cause?
Right.
I have the perfect one for you guys.
Okay.
Canadian Drag Queen Theater announces star-studded Drag for Palestine fundraiser.
Oh, you are not serious.
Yeah.
Drag for Palestine?
Yeah, of course. Of course, if they went to Palestine and did this, they would be dragged.
Yes,
Yeah,
they would be.
behind a
Very
horse.
good, Chris.
Canadian Drag Queen Theater, The Birdhouse, which is just a very proper name, is planning a big drag queen show to raise money for the Islamist Palestinian cause. It's going to
That
be
is so insanity. That is so insane.
More like the Nut House.
It's going to be in Vancouver, in British Columbia, May 3rd. In case you guys want to get your tickets early and get some time off.
I'll be sure to go to Canada for that.
There's going to be RuPaul drag contestants in the show, too. So you're going to see the biggest drag performers out there.
Did you see the video? You must have seen the video. I don't think I can find it now, but there is video of Kamala Harris. Like, you know how people talk about drunk Kamala? Where she always looks like she's drunk. She always looks like she's drunk. So apparently, and as the meme goes, you have Donald Trump, and he is, of course, fighting wars and doing everything that he needs to do. Meantime, Kamala Harris is sharing a stage with a bunch of drag queens dressed as Kamala Harris. And the one that I saw...
Did it just look like the Spider-Man meme where they're all pointing at each other? You don't know who's who?
The one that I saw was... well, no, because this is what's so dumb. The one that I saw was a drag queen dressed as Kamala Harris, but had a mustache. I don't understand. I will never understand the whole drag queen thing.
I found the video. Just sent it to you on Twitter.
Oh, look at you, man. You're fast.
I don't know. Do you think that she was trying to pull off a Kamala Harris look or a Michelle Obama look?
I don't know. The meme said it was drag queens for Kamala. The video did that it was like drag queens for Kamala, which whatever. I mean, listen, if that's what they want to do, knock themselves out. I just, I think it's obviously silly.
This one queen has a very dainty mustache.
Well, that's what I said. She had a mustache.
It's insane.
I mean, if you're gonna do it, I guess.
Do you think that this drag queen will be in Vancouver on May 3rd?
I don't know.
I feel like everybody's gonna go.
It's on. Hey, I need some video there. Oh, Mason. These guys, they change so quickly.
He just appears.
Yeah. All right. So Mason's here now. Yeah, he's got a little like Michael Jackson kind of a mustache. Did Michael Jackson have Michael Jackson didn't have a mustache. What kind of a mustache is that? I don't know, but it's a drag queen. It's a dude, and he's dressed like Kamala Harris. I don't know what else to say about it.
That's content, baby. That's what it is.
I'm so glad that I brought this up. Hey, you know what I did yesterday? Joan, you're going to love this.
Okay.
So yesterday was my force-on-force simunition exercise.
I heard about this.
Over at the Glock store.
Hold on. Can we set the table with how good Matt and I did?
Yeah, go ahead. Because I went in there psyched out. I did. I went in there psyched out because
Murphy and I went in and just absolutely excelled. I mean, there's no way around it. If you have to pick a WTN host to keep you safe, Murphy and I are at the top of the list. And it's because we went into those situations, the real life simulation, and we neutralized the threat. Do tell about your experience, Dan.
So first of all, I don't know if it was you or a Murphy show, but one of you set me up because you said, just start firing at the first person you see when you walk in. You'll be fine.
Well,
so was that you or was that Matt?
My strategy was just go in and start blasting.
Yeah, that's what they said about you. You went in and you just started blasting.
Threats were neutralized.
Yeah, they were. Now each of us had a different scenario.
Yep.
So,
because that's what they're doing, and it's like during the training on March 21st, you don't know what situation you're going to go into.
You don't know,
and you're either going to be in a situation where no deadly force is required, or deadly force is required.
So I'm all psyched up, right? I'm like, oh gosh. So
and then you're getting the whole Star Wars thing too, because they put the stormtrooper helmet on you.
Do you know what I did?
You did the Luke, I am your father?
Yes.
I knew it.
Did you do it?
No.
Oh.
I saved it for you.
Maybe I was. Nobody laughed. They put it on my head, and it's like a helmet shield thing. It's Luke. And nobody. It was like crickets. Whatever. Anyway, so. But it's a simulated gun and ammo and all that kind of stuff. But it's like real life.
It's a Glock 17T, and then the magazine is loaded with. I mean, it looks like regular ammo, except that there's a kind of like a plastic tip on the top of it, and then some pink dye in it, so you know where you hit the bad guy, or where the bad guy hits you.
So I go and I go in because it's like you're walking into your house, and then you are met with a couple of intruders. So I walk in again. I do a joke, honey, I'm home. Again, nobody laughs. Whatever. But I'm met with
these guys are stealing your valuables.
Well, they are. So I go in, and one guy is to my right, and the other guy is still hidden. But in my room, in my simulated home, there's a female mannequin. Now, I just assumed that the mannequin was supposed to be my wife. So...
You know what they say about assuming?
Yes. More on that in a second. So I start screaming at the guy, right? Get down, get down, get down.
Leave my wife alone.
Yes, that's literally what I said, because I thought the mannequin was supposed to be my wife. So he doesn't get down, but he also doesn't have a weapon. So I don't want to shoot him yet. Then another guy comes from the other direction. So I'm telling him he's got no weapon either. So I got two guys in my home, no weapon. My mannequin wife is off to my right, and I don't know what the heck to do. I'm telling everyone to stop.
And like in real life, the wife is giving you no input on how to handle the situation.
Nothing whatsoever. So I just start shooting.
So anyway, I started blasting.
I started blasting because the guy that was near my wife started going towards my mannequin wife.
You keep your hands off my wife.
That's what I said. And so I just shot everybody. Now, I failed miserably because I shot basically two unarmed men. And I ended up getting shot in return.
Wait. So you had three guys?
No, I had two.
But they were unarmed?
I see. So the second guy that I shot, I didn't kill him. So he was able to go back and get his gun. And he came back and he shot me in the belly.
Oh, no.
So, but then we're talking about this and they're telling me that I did it wrong.
Yeah, you
And I
did.
said, why was I wrong?
You
They're
got
in
shot.
my home.
You got shot.
No. They said I did it wrong because I essentially shot an unarmed man to death, right? And I said, well, at least I had good marksmanship. And they're like, well, you're point blank range. So whatever. So
Dan, at this distance, everybody has good marksmanship.
that's what they said, basically. And so I said, but he was going to kill my wife. Now, this is where it gets funny. They said, your wife? And I said, yeah. The mannequin in the corner? And they said, well, no, that's just a mannequin in the corner. That's not supposed to be your wife. That's just a man. I said, why would I have a mannequin in the corner of my home?
It's a good
I
question.
assumed it was my wife.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
Right. And I'm still a little bewildered by it. It's because they didn't give me an answer. They said, well, that's just a mannequin. Well, I know it's a mannequin, but if this is a simulation, I don't have any mannequins that I know of in my home.
It's a good point.
So I felt like I actually was victorious and I appropriately shot because I thought that he was going to hurt my mannequin wife.
You had to protect her.
I had to protect the mannequin.
But just to be clear, you didn't protect the mannequin because you got shot.
But my shot wasn't fatal.
Okay.
Yeah, it was.
So you were bleeding out and asking the mannequin to help you.
It was a graze. It was a flesh wound. I just where it hit me. Where it hit me, I have a lot of flesh. I'm just going to say it.
Okay.
And so.
Okay. All right.
So anyway, so here's the deal. According to them, I failed miserably.
Yeah.
And so,
also, just to be fair, Murphy and I are also leaning on that diagnosis.
Did you have a mannequin in your home?
Nope. I just had dead bad guys.
All right. So Murphy Show, if you're listening, Texas, did you have a mannequin in your home? See, I feel like the mannequin was put there to throw me off.
I got Murphy texted in.
Okay.
He said, was your mannequin wife hot, Dan?
Not as hot as my real wife. I'll put it that way.
Oh, points. Scoring points.
Thank you, Joan.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah. So did Murphy have a mannequin in his room?
He has not replied yet. I'd be careful though. You say his name too many times and he calls in.
I thought that was a little wrinkle that they threw in just for me because they know that I confuse easily.
Did they tell you it was your house? Murphy wants to know.
Did they tell me? Well, I assumed it was my house because my mannequin wife was in there. Why would my mannequin wife not be in my house?
So just to recap, Murphy does the training, excels, takes out the bad guy with a headshot. Chris Hand does the training, excels, takes out the bad guy with a headshot. Mandis does the training, bleeding out of the floor, asking a mannequin for help. Is that right? Is that a good?
Pretty much. That's how it went for yours truly.
Now you know how authentic this training is.
You know what, though? Here's the thing. I actually wanted to do it again.
Yeah, me too.
But, right, because I had such a blast.
I've never trained with an elevated heart rate like that.
No.
And you don't expect that you're going to get as amped up for it as you...
Well, I've never pointed and shot a gun at a person. I've never done that.
Yeah.
I've also never been shot before, which, it kind of burns.
You got to check a couple boxes yesterday.
I sure, some bucket list, I guess, but not really. The bullet was, it actually left a little mark. So, I mean, it didn't hurt, but I mean, it was very realistic. And, but it was a lot of fun. I actually did. I wanted like a do-over because I felt like I wanted to throw a red flag because of the whole mannequin thing.
There was a challenge on the play?
Yeah, they're just like, well, that's just a mannequin in your house. I said, that doesn't make any sense.
Dan really wanted the backstory to
Why
click.
would
He really wanted the backstory to line
Why would anybody
up.
have a mannequin in there? Whatever. I'm not going to belabor the point. But anyway, so I failed miserably according to them. I thought that I did pretty good because I killed one guy and disabled another one, but he eventually shot me.
I just want to say there are plenty of people that have mannequins in their homes.
Really?
Like the drag performers in Vancouver on May 3rd. They
I bet you they sure do.
Something to wear the wig.
Yeah.
Yep, going full circle now.
Yep.
So if you want to sign up for this,
You really should.
Saturday, March 21st, Glock store.
Shoot270.com, click on training, then classes.
They did a video too. Did they do a video for you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. When you watch my video, I don't know if it's produced, but my face, I saw it. My face is all red. I asked them to fix my face. Like, can you fix my face? Because I'm all red and sweating and stuff. Whatever. And I still don't know why they put a mannequin in there because I feel like it was designed. Joan, was that designed to confuse me?
It could have been, but you got to think that it's going to be confusing in the moments that something like that happens. So
I'm shooting everybody.
You did. Well,
I told him, I said I'd let a jury figure out a lot of this stuff.
That's what I said too. But we had a long okay, we got to go. We had a long conversation though about stand your ground laws and all that kind of stuff. So, but it was a lot of fun. But here's the deal: it was fun.
The training is so unique though because it's about when do you have the legal right to use that use of force.
That's exactly right,
and that's key.
All right, got to go. 8:55. Dan Mandis here, and Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. When something goes wrong in your home, you want the team that shows up, fixes it, and treats you like family. Now, that is Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. They are your trusted pros for total home comfort, and right now is the perfect time to upgrade here in the month of March. When you purchase a 16-SEER high-efficiency HVAC system or a whole home repipe, Busy Bee is going to give you a Yeti Tundra 45 cooler absolutely free. And here in the month of March, Busy Bee has TVA rebates available as well for tune-ups and unit replacements too. It is the easiest way to save money. Check out Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Call them at 615-775-7833. Online, busybeehvac.com. USS United Structural Systems. Now, this is a great company, a great local company. Now, they are local experts that know the local terrain. They know how Tennessee homes react to Tennessee weather. Now, they've helped me a number of times with my home, from waterproofing to foundation repair. They're not just another repair company. They are, again, your local foundation and waterproofing experts. They live here, they work here, and yes, they understand exactly how Tennessee's soil, weather, and homes behave. You know why? Because they've been doing this since 1994. Check them out online, USSTN.com. As always, tell them Dan Mandis told you to reach out. They've got more than 30,000 local homeowners that have trusted USS. Now, that experience means they've seen every type of problem that our homes face here in Tennessee. Again, find them online, USSTN.com.